안녕하세요. 제가 오늘 해볼 게임은 공주를 죽여라 라는 게임인데요. 공포 게임이라고 하네요. 네, 번역해주신 분 흑기님 감사합니다. 닉네임 흑기? 이래서 끼끼 그런 드립을 친 거구나. 뭔가 했네. 하냐면요 안 했어요? 다시 할게요. 안녕하세요. 제가 오늘 녹화를 하냐면요. 오늘 해볼 게임은 공주를 죽여라 라는 게임이고요. 한번 해보도록 하겠습니다. 바로 시작 후. 이 어두운 곳에서 어떤 두려움을 마주하게 되더라도 부디 따뜻한 마음을 가지고 들여다보아주세요. 잘못된 엔딩은 없습니다. 잘못된 선택도 없습니다. 오직 새로운 관점과 새로운 시각만이 존재합니다. 이것은 사랑에 관한 이야기입니다. 근데 왜 공게임이지? 바로 시작할 수 있네요. 이거는 뭐 하면서 배우는 걸로. 그럼 한번 시작을 해보도록 할까요? 챕터 1 공주와 영웅.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
세이브가 있는데?
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
공주를 안 죽이면 세상이 멸망한대. 인간이 아닌가? 여기 선택지가 뜨네. 멸망? 그게 무슨 소리지? 애초에 공주를 가둬놓았기 때문에 공주가 세상을 끝장내려 하는 거 아니야? 아무리 그래도 공주를 죽이다니 너무 심하지 않아? 나 말고 다른 사람에게 맡길 순 없는 거야? 됐어, 난 안 할래. 내가 세상이 끝장난다고 해도 신경 쓰지 않을 거란 가능성은 생각 안 해. 근데 다 탐색밖에 없는데? 오케이. 잠깐만. 우리 이거 이렇게 옮겨봅시다. 근데 이거 다 탐색이니까 그냥 멸망이 뭐냐고 물어볼까요? 한번 물어봐보자.
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
이쁘면 살려주자고요. 진짜 여미새. 하지만 지하실에 갇힌 공주가 어떻게 세상을 끝장낸다는 거야? 공주가 왜 위험한지 설명하지 않는다면 난 죽이지 않겠어. 그 말에 증거 있어? 애초에 공주를 이거는 아까 그대로네요. 근데 맞아. 어떻게 갇혀있는데 세상을 끝장내? 이거 말이 안 돼. 한번 물어보자.
Don't linger on the specifics. You
화났다
have a
해설정.
job to do here.
말투가
Just get in there and do what needs to be
싸나워졌네.
done. We're all counting on you.
나한테 다 기대하고 있다고? 그러면 그 말에 증거 있어?
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
그런 거니. 스크롤 내리면서 있었다고요? 그러네? 이거 스크롤이었어? 젠장. 오케이. 그러면 자, 여기 보자고. 일단 이 오두막에 가서 공주와 대화해보겠어. 만약에 정말 공주가 네 말대로 사악하다면 내가 공주를 죽일지도 모르지. 하지만 직접 만나보기 전엔 아무것도 단정지을 생각 없어. 자, 오케이, 이해했어. 빨리 끝내러 가자고. 그렇군. 설명해줘서 고마워. 좋았어. 군주의 목을 치러 가볼까? 혁명 만세. 뭐야 이거 사임이네. 뭐야. 그냥 조용히 오두막에서 떠나는 선택지도 있네요. 근데 뭔지 궁금하니까 한번 들어가나 보자. 한번 들어가서 착한 애인지 나쁜 애인지 판단을 해보고 죽일지 말지 결정하면 되지. 성공하면 혁명 아닙니까? 아니, 착한 애면 죽일 필요가 없잖아요, 님들. 자,
But I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out. Then each and every one of us is doomed. So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us.
근데 가둬놨으면 네가 죽이면 되는 거 아니냐? 왜 가둬놨을까? 굳이?
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. you'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
그치, 보통 그렇지. 공주는 항상 착하게 나왔으니까. 내 역할도 영웅이네요.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
아, 지금 이걸 선택하는 사람이랑 영웅은 또 다른 인격체로 보나봐. 무시하래, 영웅을. 오두막에 들어간다.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare.
세이브를 해야겠다.
The blade is your implement.
단검이 놓여있대.
You'll need it if you want to do this right.
단검을 가져간다? 지하실에 들어간다? 그래도 혹시 모르니까 나쁜 년일 수 있으니 단검을 갖고 들어가서 일단은 대화를 해보는 게 일단 들어. 맞아.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
내 몸은 내가 지켜야지. 맞아. 진짜 공주일까요?
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
오? 이거 진짜 가스라이팅 아닌가요? 아니, 나 찌를 생각 아직 없음. 그냥 칼만 들고 가는 거지. 이 공주가 인간이 아닐 수도 있잖아. 세상을 멸망시킬 공주라면. 혹시 모르지. 그냥 이제 셀프 디펜스 하려고 들고 가는 거예요.
Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
목소리가 착한 느낌은 아닌데?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
그러니까 좀 약간 위험해 보이는데?
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
얼굴이 궁금해요. 님들 얼굴이 뭐가 중요해요? 사람 인성이 중요하지. 세상을 멸망시킨다는데 뭐 예쁘면 안 죽일 거야? 자, 안녕. 그냥 괜찮은지 보러 왔어. 안녕, 널 죽이러 왔는데 계단에 내려간다. 이거 세 번째는 너무 대놓고 죽인다는 거 아니야? 이것도 세이브 해야겠다, 혹시 모르니까. 자, 뭐를 골라볼까? 그냥 인사를 하고 들어가볼까? 아니면 괜찮은지 보러 왔다고 할까? 아니면 계단에 내려갈까? 세 번째는 하면 안 될 것 같아요, 일단은. 그냥 인사가 나을 것 같아? 1번? 일단은 1번? 그냥 안녕이 무난해 보여? 그럼 1번으로 가자.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
뭐야, 갑자기 목소리에 꿀 떨어지는데? 근데 뭔가 위험해 보여.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
근데 이러고 있는데 어떻게 세상을 멸망시킨다는 거야?
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
뭘 살려? 님들 세상 멸망하면 얘랑 뽀뽀도 못해요.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
여기도 세이브를 하면 혹시 모르니까. 뭐? 그럴 리가. 내가 왜 그러겠어? 뭐야, 이 벌써 이런 선택지를 고른다는 것 자체가 외모를 보고 판단한다는 거지. 그거 말이 안 돼. 자, 그래, 들켰네. 널 죽이러 왔어. 아니, 아직 결정하지 않았어. 대화하러 왔을 뿐이야. 결의를 굳히고 다가간다. 이거 1번은 그냥 외모 보고 넘어간 거고, 2번은 너무 그냥 시비 거는 것 같고, 3번은 뭔가 쫄은 것 같고, 이거 마지막 거는 죽이겠다는 것 같고, 해봤자 4번, 5번인데 그래, 대화를 먼저 해보는 게 맞지 않나. 얘가 진짜 착한 앤지 나쁜 앤지. 근데 아까 해설자 말로는 얘가 거짓말을 할 수도 있다 그랬는데.
Then why did you bring a knife with you? How about you drop it, and then we can chat?
어떻게 알았지?
She makes a compelling point. What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Look at her. It's not like she's a threat.
그냥 멀리서 얘기하면 되잖아, 이렇게 하고.
Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
단검을 아니 그냥 멀리서 블루투스식 대화하면 안 되나? 일단 들고 있어? 공주 지켜? 야 공주 지키자는데 얘가 누군지는 알고 진짜 나쁜 년이면 어떡하려고 뭘 공주 지켜야. 안 되겠다. 자 단검을 일단은 아니 그래 대화만 하는 건데 잠깐 내려놓죠. 세이브 해두고. 퀵 세이브가 뭐지? 이게 뭐야? 아무튼 단단히 쥔다. 아닌데? 방금 내가 한 거라서 생긴 건데 이거는? 아무튼
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
해설자가 한숨을 쉬네요.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed.
왜 굳이 가까이에서 대화를 해야 되지? 죽이자고요? 죄송한데 칼 놓고 왔는데 뭘 죽여요? 완전 예쁘다고 죽이지 말자며. 진짜 이 물소들아.
We'll be fine.
맞아, 괜찮을 거야.
I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
도대체 너 여기 왜 갇혀 있는 거냐 물어보고 싶은데. 뭐? 그래 참 어색하군. 관계? 지금 날 유혹하는 거야? 뭐? 이런 음흉한 이런. 어떻게 해야 널 여기서 나가게 할 수 있지? 난 네가 세상을 멸망시킬 거라고 해서 왔어. 네가 세상을 멸망시킬 거라는 사람들이 있는데 거기에 대해 할 말 있어? 이름이 뭐지? 아니 님들 그런 거 하면 안 돼. 뭐 하는 거야 지금? 이 사람들 진짜 뭔 소리? 스크롤. 오케이 스크롤. 여기 얼마나 오래 있었지? 내가 왜 널 죽이러 온 건지 알아? 대화는 이제 충분해. 이게 뭘까? 이 사람들 너무 음흉하네요. 생각하는 게. 이걸 왜 멸망시킨다고 하는지 이걸 먼저 물어보는 게 맞지 않아? 지금 저희는 얘가 왜 멸망시킨다는지 잘 이해를 못하겠어요. 사실 진짜 뭘 이가 정답이 이거 안 하는. 그래 맞아 이게 맞지. 이게 정답이지.
Don't
맞아.
just tell her that.
알려주면 안 돼요? 알아서 가둔 거 아니야?
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone.
에?
I like the world, I think.
얘 눈이 이상한데? 뭔가 저질러 버릴 것 같은데?
I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
응? 근데
Just
어떻게
how long has she
살아있는 거야?
been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
화제를 돌린다. 여기서 나가면 뭘 할 생각이지? 충분히 들었어. 네가 알려줄 거라 생각했는데. 아니 하지만 알려주지 않은 이유가 있겠지. 아니 솔직히 말하자면 널 믿는 쪽으로 마음이 기울고 있어. 헉! 난 솔직히 못 믿겠는데. 얘기하면 할수록 이상해. 뭔가 말투도 이상하고 뭔가 옹고짓은 할 것 같지 않아. 뭔가 나쁜 애 같아. 이유는 모르겠는데 약간 말투로 사람 판단하면 안 되지만 뭐 자꾸 막 자기가 지금 풀려나야 할 상황인데 훗훗 하면서 웃는 거부터 해서 이상한데. 뭔가 뭐가 있는 것 같아. 일단 죽이고 생각한 저 진짜 쾌락만 쫓는 저 나쁜 놈. 일단 죽이고 생각하자는 거야. 죽었는데 착한 사람이면 어떡해. 자 이걸 한번 얘기해볼까? 아니 하지만 알려주지 않은 이유가 있겠지. 이게 맞겠지? 그럼 로드. 아니 죽음을 로드하라는 건 좀 진짜.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
What if they're bad reasons, though? If they had good reasons for thinking I was dangerous, wouldn't they have shared them with you? I don't want to hurt anyone. I just want to leave. At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust.
근데 방금 처음 봤는데 어떻게 믿어요? 방금 처음 봤잖아요, 우리 안지 오래된 것도 아니고.
Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
아니 뭔가 해설자의 말도 너의 말도 믿을 수 없으니까 대화를 해보는 거지.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear.
이딴 게 공주? 아니 왜 이렇게 애가 뭔가 약간 착한 계획들을? 약간 너무 티티티티티티티 같은데? 뭐야?
But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
근데 맞긴 하지. 그냥 너 하나 죽이고 입 싹 닫고 아무한테도 말 안 하고 그러면 아무도 모르지 않을까? 그냥 죽여야 되나? 죽일걸.
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust.
와 표정 썩는 거 보소?
So do you trust me? The prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
누가 봐도 세상을 끝낼 수 있을 리 없는 피해자인 공주? 이거 지금 나 가스라이팅 하는 건가?
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch no less.
뭔가 지금 피해자 코스프레 하는 것 같은데 뭔가 말투도 그렇고 근데 이게 어떻게 해야 되지? 뭐야 관계 또 나왔네. 이건 계속 나오네. 어떻게 해야 널 여기서 나가게 할 수 있지? 이름이 뭐지? 여기 얼마나 오래 있었지? 세이브. 그럼 왜 계속 나오는가 한번 해봅시다.
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
안 넘어오네요. 자, 그러면 어떻게 해야 널 여기서 나가게 할 수 있지?
You
물어보자.
can't. Don't bother.
못한다는데?
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
이 칼로 저 사슬을 잘라주면 되는 건가?
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting.
뭔
Right?
거? 설마 팔 자르는 거?
She is. I'm sure of it.
에? 얘 진짜 정상이 아닌데? 보통 자기 팔은 잘라달라고 할까? 절대? 아니면 오래 갇혀있어서 정신이 나갔나? 이런데 오래 있었으면 정신이 제정신일 수는 없지. 이거 물어보자. 여기 얼마나 오래 있었어요? 뭐야 여기 나오네. Q에. 오케이.
Too long.
아주 오래.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
이름이 뭐지?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
그냥 공주라는 것도 구라 아니야? 옷만 이러고. 그래, 대화는 이제 충분해.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
잠깐만. 공주를 죽인다. 나갈 수 있게 도와주지. 족쇄를 조사한다. 널 여기 좀 더 가둬둘 거야. 어떻게 할지 결정하기 전까지는 공주를 가둔다. 아니 세이브를 해두고 그래 죽이고 다시 로드하면 살아내. 아니 이게 맞나? 잠깐만. 그냥 겁나 수상해 죽여? 처음에는 예쁘니까 살려주자고 하더니 이제 수상하니까 죽여? 아... 근데 일단은 제 생각에도 얘가 말투가 좀 이상해. 그냥 여기 오래 갇혀있으면 제가 보기엔 정상 아닐 것 같긴 해요. 그러니까 일단은 그냥 죽이고 어차피 저만 조용히 하면 아무도 모르니까. 그쵸? 나만 조용히 하면 돼.
You charge the princess, blade trembling in your hand, but you've already lost the battle.
뭐야? 왜 줬어?
She casually sidesteps your thrust before knocking you to the ground with a single blow from her elbow.
아니 공주 싸움 잘해?
We shouldn't have hesitated.
헐.
But she doesn't stop there. She kicks you a few times for good measure, the pointed tip of her shoes feeling like a pickaxe against your fracturing bones, making sure you stay down.
Shit.
As you lie, crushed and broken on the basement floor, the princess kneels on your throat with the kind of weight you
근데
didn't think her
영웅도
slight
손보니까
frame could
괴물이네.
possibly possess. As you shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. You had the upper hand, and now look at you.
얘 나쁜 년 맞았구나. 미리 죽였어야 했네.
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
She applies more pressure, slowly squeezing what's left of your life out of your lungs.
너 이렇게 싸움도 잘하고 힘도 센 애가 왜 굳이 여기 갇혀 있는 거야? 뭐야 얘.
This is the end, isn't it?
헐.
I'm afraid it is.
죽는다.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
죽었다. 챕터 2 성체.
You're on a path
뭐야, 다시
in the
돌아왔어.
woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin, and in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her.
어?
If you don't, it will be the
시간이
end of the
돌아왔는데?
world.
타임루프 뭐야? 응? 끔찍한 데자뷰가 느껴지는데 잠깐 이거 일어났던 일 아니야? 아니 안돼 난 죽었을 텐데 왜 내가 여기 있는 거지? 그 여자가 날 또 죽일 거야. 뭐야? 뭔가 이거 일어났던 일 아니야?
It hasn't. Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. We've just met for the first time, you and I.
거짓말하지 마. 방금 저랑 만났잖아요.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me.
방금 만났는데?
What does it matter what he knows? There's nothing we can do to stop her.
절망의
She's just going
목소리가
to kill us
생겼어.
again.
저의 또 다른 인격이 생겼나봐요.
She is not going to kill you unless you let her. But slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the whole time second-guessing yourself.
잠깐만, 왜 내가 네 말을 들어야지? 이 모든 일에 의미가 있긴 해? 그러니까 이거 먼저 물어보자. 왜 나한테 이래라 저래라요?
Those are two very
지훈하지
different
말라고.
questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me.
진짜 두 번 만났는데 뭐냐?
You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
맞아요. 사실 바로 죽이랬는데 안 죽였어요. 맞아요.
Of course we died. We couldn't land a single blow on her, and she broke every bone in our body before she decided to let us die.
맞아.
What were we supposed to do to stop her then? What are we supposed to do to stop her now? It's pointless.
그냥 이번에 가자마자 칼로 찌르면 안 돼?
She's just a princess. Slaying her shouldn't have been difficult, but congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. The princess killed us and now everyone's
진짜
right
겁나
back where they
비꼬네,
started.
싸가지.
That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died?
진짜 해설자 죽이기 선택지 없나요?
Do you think the people there
얘만
lived
없으면
happily
갈등급
ever
안 열릴
after?
텐데.
Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would? If she ended the entire world, why should we even bother? We might as well just walk up to that cabin, break her chains and let her do whatever she wants. It's all the same in the end.
근데 아니 풀어주면 더 빨라지는 거 아니야 멸망이? 아니 그리고 그냥 가서 바로 말도 안 하고 그냥 칼로 찔러버리면 멸망도 뭐 또 못하고 그냥 죽이면 되지. 얘 왜 이렇게 절망의 목소리에 왜 이렇게 부정적이냐 사람이?
Just because she's capable of ending the world doesn't mean you're not capable of slaying her. Both of those things can be true at the same time. So chin up. I believe in you.
공주에 대해 이야기해보자.
Just be quick about it.
뭐가 이렇게 많아? 지난번엔 공주가 날 죽였어. 그런 일이 다시 생기지 않으리라고 어떻게 확신하지? 지난번에 공주가 한 짓이라고 날 죽도록 팬 것뿐이야. 그런 사람이 어떻게 세상을 멸망시킨다는 거야? 뭔가 근데 하는 거 보면 멸망시킬 수도 있을 것 같아. 애가 보통이 아니던데? 막 눈 헷가락 돌면서 막 갈비뼈 부시고 막 힐로 찌르고 그냥 이상한 애 같던데? 지난번에 네 표현을 빌리자면 그녀는 그저 공주일 뿐이라고 했잖아. 그런 사람이 어떻게 날 죽도록 팰 만큼 강한 거지? 누가 그녀를 지하실에 가뒀지? 이곳은 대체 어떤 곳이야? 나 이 세 번째, 네 번째 거 너무 궁금해. 이거부터 해볼까? 그냥 너무 궁금해. 왜 이렇게 힘이 세요? 공주 까짓게,
She is just a princess. Whatever you think happened to you last time, just get it out of your head before you get to the cabin and you'll be fine.
제가 그랬다 죽었다고요. 안 멀쩡하다고요.
오.
죽었는데.
We could pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending that we're capable of doing anything in this situation.
무엇?
She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us.
바로 그냥 약자가 되겠다 이거지.
Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge?
그러니까 너무 비관적이야.
I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic. You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included.
오케이. 자, 그 다음에 이거 마지막 거 한번 물어봅시다.
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods.
사람들이
Don't
누구냐고요.
overcomplicate things.
그니까 아니 누군데요? 진짜. 마지막 선택자 하나 더 생겼다. 어딘가 수상쩍은데 숨기는 게 뭐지? 근데 이거 물어봐도 안 알려줄 것 같긴 한데.
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult.
나 너무 질문충인가?
The less you know about her, the better.
모를수록 좋다고? 왜지? 이건 물어볼까? 사람들이 그녀를 가뒀다면 왜 그자들은 공주를 죽이지 않은 거지? 어째서 내게 떠넘기는 거야? 그니까 네가 해! 네가 해!
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special.
응?
You're the only person capable of doing
이것도
this.
가스라이팅 하는
Call it
거지.
a prophecy, if that helps. But it's just the way things are.
나 하나도 안 특별한데 그냥 나 갔다가 실험용 쥐처럼 던져놓으려고.
Oh, I didn't know we were special. Of
나
course
죽는
you're
거
special.
구경만 하면서.
Why else would you be here?
아닌데요. 저 안
Who cares if you
특별한데요.
think we're special? As far as I can tell, the only thing special about us is that we get to experience painfully dying all over again.
맞아, 너한테 특별한 게 뭐가 중요해? 하나도 안 중요해. 일단 넘깁시다 여기는 그러면.
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
잠깐만. 세이브를 하는데, 자, 세이브를 하고, 이게 퀵 세이브는 6개가 최대인가? 오두막에 간다.
A warning before you go any further.
또 경고가 있어?
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her.
저 이번엔
Don't
진짜
believe a
가자마자
word she
죽일게요.
says.
근데 왜 가둬놨는지 궁금했는데 절대 안 알려주네. 이번엔 가자마자 그냥 죽이고.
Lying? Cheating? Why would she even bother? She didn't need to do anything like that last time.
뭔 소리야, 저번에 착한 척 했잖아.
She caught us off guard last time. We'll be fine. Let's just keep our wits about us.
그래, 맞아. 이번에는 방심하지 말고 정신 똑바로 차리고 바로
At
그냥
least one of you
탈지해.
still has a shred of sense. Just make sure you listen to him and not that whiner.
오두막에 들어간다.
If that's what you want, I guess I don't have a say here.
너 비켜, 조용히 해. 징징이 나가 있어.
The interior of the cabin is larger and
바뀌었다.
more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
오케이,
Why
이번엔
do we
단검을
feel
바로
so
챙기자.
small? We don't feel small. We are small.
그러게, 사다리랑 문 왜 이렇게 커? 거울도 짱 크고. 저장을 해둡시다. 하고, 벽에 걸린 거울에 대해서 말하자. 자, 뭐 거울은 거울이겠지. 거울에 다가간다? 이것만 해볼까? 한번 봐볼까? 내 모습이 궁금하다. 이 영웅의 모습이.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
볼 게
What are you
없다는데.
talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime.
거울을 닦는다.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall.
아니, 사람이
I hope you know how
아니었구나.
ridiculous you look right now. We should count ourselves lucky. Some things are better left
왜?
unseen.
왜 내 얼굴 한 번도 본 적 없어? 끝났네? 단검을 가지고 오두막이 지난번과 다르. 이거는 한번
Maybe
보자.
that's
그래도.
because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been
아니라고,
killed by the
죽었었다고,
princess.
살해당했다고, 갈비뼈 부셔졌다고, 밟혔다고. 뭔 소리야. 지가 뭘 알아. 어이가 없네. 근데 모르는 척하는 거 아니야 지금?
You
일단 칼
take the
바로
blade from
가져가자.
the altar. It would.
오케이, 지하실로 들어갑니다.
The door to the basement creaks
열리네요.
open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For
계단도
a
바뀌었네.
moment, you almost feel at ease. Huh. This is actually kind of nice. It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
이 몸을 알려내라? 갑자기 얘가 너무 강압적으로 바뀌었는데? 이 정도까지는 아니었는데? 목소리도 바뀌었는데? 뭐지?
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time.
갑자기 공주가 아니라 여왕이 된 것 같은데요?
We need to get down there. She
아쿠마다.
wants us to see her. We need to see her. Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there.
절망이 물쏘네.
It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess.
자, 계단을 내려갑니다.
Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes and the princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a
아니,
stained
진짜
glass
뭔가 많이
window. Her
바뀌었는데?
long hair
원래 이러고
billows
있지
around her.
않았었는데?
and a chain
누구세요?
binds her wrist to the far wall.
죽은 거 아니야? 공중에 떠 있는데요?
The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
저 족쇄 그냥 이제 그냥 약간 액세서리 같은 거야? 이미 큰일이 난 거 같은데 이거?
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. You brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless.
얘는
Such charming audacity.
얘는 전생에 나 죽인 거 기억하나 보다. 나 기억하네?
Drop it.
응? 싫어요. 싫어요. 이거 세이브 할 거예요. 싫어. 안 버릴 거야. 이거 버리면 또 나 밟아서 죽이려고. 전판에도 나 버리라 그러고 나한테 덤볐잖아 얘.
As if on command, the blade slips from your
뭐야
grasp.
잘못 눌렀어.
It clatters
뭐야?
uselessly to the floor.
뭐야 나 꽉 쥐는 거 하지 않았어?
But we didn't drop it. We decided to grip it tighter,
맞아.
remember?
더 세게
It's really just
움켜쥐라고
gonna
했는데?
let that happen to us.
내가 잘못 누른 게 아니었네? 강제 진행인데?
I have a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you dropped the blade. Of course we dropped it.
아,
She's so much
절망이
more
네가
than us.
그랬구나.
You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence. Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Kneel.
뭐야? 싫어. 싫어. 이것도 세이브해. 근데 또 싫어라고 하면 절망이가 나 꼴릴 것 같아. 그래도 싫어.
Oh, are you still trying to defy me? I said kneel.
Your legs buckle, and your knees hit the floor.
강제로 꿀려버리네.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk? The last time we met, you told me I was destined to end the world. That thought wrapped itself around my heart. It has pulled at me since the moment I squeezed the life out of your broken lungs. I could feel its fundamental truth awaken me.
뭐? 그니까 전판에 내가 널 죽이려고 해서 네가 지금 이렇게 됐다는 거야? 내가 각성시킨 거야?
The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new. And the world as it is now is overdue for
너 때문이었어?
alterations. It's time for me to seize my destiny. And you, little bird, will help me seize it.
Well, that gives away the game, doesn't it? It certainly does. And beyond that, it more than lends credence to our conversation in the woods. I don't love the thought that in some other reality you failed to destroy her, but what's done is done. I can only hope it helped you learn a valuable lesson.
내가 재앙을 만들었네.
You are the only one who can deal with her. And if you don't, well, she's let you know what will happen, hasn't she? Then you shouldn't have trusted us with her destruction. She is inevitable.
죽일 수 있는 방법 없을까?
He's being melodramatic, but he's not exactly wrong, is he? What are we supposed to do to stop her? Okay, first things first, you're going to have to stuff those pessimistic thoughts someplace far, far away and commit yourself to what needs to be done. The stakes of the situation should be perfectly clear to everyone now. And if you're going to save the world, you have to have faith that you can pull this off. You can't win a battle that you've already lost in your mind.
하... 내게 뭘 시킬 생각이지? 네가 세상을 멸망시킬 운명이라고 해서 정말 그래야 하는 건 아니야. 결정을 내리기 전에 질문이 몇 가지 있어. 내가 죽고 나서 어떤 일이 있었지? 네가 세상을 멸망시키는 걸 도울 생각 없어. 새로운 세상 같은 것에도 관심 없어. 저는 공주님 것입니다. 공주에게 충성을 맹세한다. 와, 이거는 그냥 세상 멸망시키는다는데 여기 공주님 것입니다 이러는 건 좀 너도 죽일 텐데 얘가 세상 멸망시키면 바로 그냥 충성해버리네. 잠깐, 결정을 내리기 전에 질문이 몇 가지 있어. 님들 현실적으로 말해서 6번째 거는 좀 그렇다. 말이 되냐? 뭘 나랑 어울려? 뭔 소리야? 뭘 살고 봐야지요? 님들 세상 멸망하면 저도 죽는데 뭘 살고 봐야지요? 살아봤자 다른 사람보다 조금 더 사는 거구만. 하... 님들 근데 어차피 세상 멸망하고 저 혼자 충성해서 살아남는다고 해도 남는 거 저랑 얘밖에 없는데요. 그게 행복할까요? 뭘 오히려 좋아. 야! 뭘 오히려 좋아? 뭐? 둘이 남는 게 뭐 우야야? 뭔 소리야? 이런 애랑은 그런 일이 일어날 수 없어. 제 생각에는 일단은 질문을 몇 가지 해보는 게 먼저인 것 같아요. 질문하고 결정해도 되니까.
Know the limits of your privilege, little bird. There's an empty place at my side for you to fill, if you'll have it. But it is not a place for an equal. It is a place for something worthy to be kept. A
애완동물이요?
priest, perhaps, or a pet.
아니 님들 애완동물 취급하는 거면 둘이 남아봤자 님들이 생각하는 그런 일은 전혀 없을 것 같은데? 그냥 맨날 채찍질이나 당하고 왜 좋아? 뭔 소리야? 자 그러면 네가 세상을 멸망시키는 걸 도울 생각 없어. 왜냐면 난 오래 살고 싶으니까.
키키는 애완동물은 채찍질
I say,
아니 얘가 개돼지처럼 대하겠지 말하는 거 보니까.
perhaps you need another lesson in submitting to your betters. Pick up that needle.
칼을 주어라?
Do it. It's what she wants.
원하셔?
No objections here.
뭐? 반대를 안 한다고?
I don't know what she's planning, and I don't like that we don't know what she's planning, but we might as well pick up the blade.
일단은 자기 방어해야지.
As your eye falls on the blade, you feel a weight. Some divine hand that sits unperceived by your senses, but that
내
manages to
손을
push you
조종하는 것
towards its
같아.
desires like an unseen puppeteer.
단검? 이거밖에 선택을 못해. 단검을 줍는다.
You reach forward and grasp the blade.
Stand.
This one's easy. See? This isn't so bad. Okay, yeah. We can do that. We will.
이것도 일어나다밖에 없는데? 너희 모두를 정말 증오해. 이래라 저래라 하지마. 영원히 무릎 꿇고 있을 거야. 일어난다. 이거밖에 안 되는데?
You can feel a creaking tension between body and will as you slowly rise to your feet, like two foes forced into an unhappy truce. The princess eyes you with soft contemplation. The moment seems to last a lifetime, the silent anticipation of what's to come dragging out the long, painful seconds. But all silences are broken eventually.
나 지금 몸 조종당하고 있는 거야?
To defy me is to claim we stand on level ground. We do not. You are quiet shadow, while I am brilliant radiance. Take that knife in your hand and slit your throat.
아니에요. 전 복종할게요. 아니에요. 아니 복종하겠습니다. 아니 실수한 것 같아요. 아 복종할게요.
What?
무엇?
You don't have to listen to her.
애완동물
You're armed.
할게.
Just
저
steel your
개돼지예요.
nerves, step forward, and end this.
저 아픈 거 싫어요. 그짱을 된다. 아니 선택지가 없어. 나 이미 몸을 조종당하고 있다고. 큰일 났다. 뭐?
Oh, we'll end this all right.
큰일 났다.
Your hand lifts the blade and brings it towards your throat. Okay, I apologize for the unclear language. End her.
공주를 죽인다? 가능한데? 죽이는 거? 공주를 죽인다 한번 해보자.
Your body is sluggish and unresponsive, actively fighting against you, but you do your best to stagger forward. One step.
Slitting your throat would have been a mercy, but it seems you're in need of a harsher lesson.
What?
Plunge that knife into your lungs.
I'm sorry.
싫어요.
Don't. As you take another step forward, the blade digs into your ribs,
원래 이러면
slicing through flesh
고통스럽게
with
죽는
ease.
거잖아.
It somehow feels like an entirely natural thing to do, while the simple act of walking has become an arduous impossibility. Then it slides back out, the wound burning as a small hiss of air escapes through the fresh orifice.
아파.
Blood fills your lungs.
Now, do it again. Keep doing it until I give you permission to stop.
Those are just words. You don't have to listen to her. It's what she wants.
자꾸 절망이 째편들어.
You, heroic one, what are you doing? Don't just let this happen. Stop him from killing you. I'm on it. Your other hand locks around your wrist, struggling to keep it from perforating vital organs. But the blade still flails towards you, managing to slice bits of skin that plop to the floor to join the
아니
glowing
그
pile of
애완동물
blood
할걸
and gore
개돼지
beneath
할걸
you.
그냥.
Despite the pain, you manage to keep yourself in one piece, at least for now.
What a pitiful display. A wounded little bird thinking it can defy a god. It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to hurt so much. You can choose a gentle end. You can choose to leave that punctured vessel for the next.
환생시켜주는 건가? 그래도 공주를 죽여. 일단 죽이는 게 맞아. 공주를 죽인다.
Or you can pathetically struggle against yourself until the floor of this temple is painted with the bloody impressions of
한 번만
your
찌르면 돼, 한 번만.
futility.
You continue to approach the princess, even as the repeated gouges of your
뼈가
blade
근육이
expose bone and
노출됐다는데?
muscle to the open air of the basement. You know, this would be a lot easier if you gave us a hand. My influence only goes so far, and I can only juggle so many things at once. The best I can do right now is to continue to drive you forward. Believe me, this whole ordeal would be so much easier if I didn't have to contend with free will. You're the one making things difficult. You're the one making us hurt. She doesn't want to hurt us. She's just doing what she has to.
뭔 소리야? 쟤가 나 죽으라 그러는데 지금 네가 말 듣고 나 찌르고 있는데 뭔 소리 하는 거야 지금?
Stop.
이제 와서 그만하라고 그러면 왜 만신창인데 이미?
As you finish crossing the room, you fall to your knees at the princess's feet, your chest heaving as your blood pools in the crevices of the stone floor, the coppery taste coating your throat. The princess kneels down, lifting your chin with her finger as her face lowers to yours.
Your devotion is misplaced. You've surrendered to delusion. But something
이제
about
와서?
your defiant spirit speaks to me. You are different than you were before. Perhaps, if you've learned your lesson, I can spare you from the release of death.
That's a little demeaning, isn't it? Yes, how thoughtful of her.
이제 와서 죽음에서 풀어준다는 게 나 그냥 빨리 보내주겠다는 거 아니야?
It's a mercy. Take it. I think he's given up whatever say he had at the start of all this. At least one of you is sane. She's within striking distance, and she's only negotiating now because she knows you have what it takes to put an end to her.
그러니까
Seize
죽더라도
the
같이
moment
죽자.
before it's too
같이
late.
죽여. 그래 맞아. 자 여기에 왜 층승하는 메뉴가 있는 거지? 이미 너무 많이 찔러서 나 죽을 텐데. 왜? 빨리 죽여.
No. Yes. Though your body trembles, struggling to defend itself in the face of the princess's overwhelming will, you finally manage to break through, darting to her side before she can react.
되나?
The wind
됐다.
of your freedom rushes through you, and you channel it into a
근데 발목
decisive
힘줄
blow,
하나 자른 거랑
stabbing into
죽진
the
않잖아.
soft flesh of her ankle and severing the tendons in an act of unyielding defiance. She falls to the floor, crashing unceremoniously to her knees.
지금이니?
You don't give her any
찔렀다.
time to recover, your heart pounding with determination. You
킹기다.
plunge your blade into her chest.
캬 정의구현.
As you find your target again and
좋아하는데?
again, she laughs, crude emotion breaking through her once stony composure as your blade cuts her flesh.
왜 좋아하는 거지?
We can do this, can't we? You always could. The decision to give you this task was not made lightly. You're here for a reason.
It's not too late to pick up the pieces. It's not too late to toss that blade aside and beg for forgiveness.
Shut up.
I can't believe you would actually strike me. You heathen! You worm! You defiler! You don't know the consequences of your arrogance!
뭔 소리야? 나 처음부터 믿지도 않았고 너 애초에 죽일 생각이었어. 내가 왜 신성 모독자인데 나 너 믿은 적도 없는데 뭔 소리 하는 거야 지금. 매도를 그렇게 하시면 어떡해요.
Before you can strike the final blow, the princess lashes out, knocking you off your feet. There's an unsettling wet pop as your spine breaks, numbness and pain spreading through your body. As you rebound towards the ceiling in a moment of disorientated lightness, she drives her fist into your chest. Your body is crushed as she pulverizes you into the floor, the ground itself breaking from the impact. You lie there, broken, beyond pain, unable to even see what she's done to you. But the princess is succumbing to her own wounds as well. She looks down upon her body in abject horror and disgust.
You made me use my hands. I can feel myself twisting into something new, something dull, something defiled. What have you done to me?
너 원래 인간이었어,
You're
이
monsters and
자식아.
conspirators. I can't bear to watch this.
The princess has been nothing but cruel to you. You should feel liberated by her fall.
But I don't feel liberated.
야, 그럼 여기 붙어있지 말고 너 절로 가. 쟤가 그렇게 좋으면. 절망할 목소리 자꾸 여기 붙어있는 거야?
Aside from the pain, I feel fine. She collapses to the floor. Her glassy eyes watch, unblinking, yet somehow still full of anguish and fear as the two of you perish together.
죽였다.
I suppose we were never gonna get a happy ending here, were we?
같이 죽는 건가요, 이렇게?
Don't let those be your final thoughts. You saved the world. That's worth something. I guess.
맞아, 세상을 구했다.
Regardless of how you feel about it, it's finally over. Thank you. Everything goes dark, and you die.
근데 어떻게 돼도 죽네요? 근데 챕터 3가 또 있어. 경로. 뭐야 이거 왜 이래?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of the path, okay, what the hell is that?
그 시작하자마자 변수인데 이거 뭐야? 너 왜 그래? 그만 울어. 아니 진진이 좀 어떻게 해봐.
I think he's upset. What's he got to be upset about? We just killed a god.
맞아. 다른 인격이 생겼어요. 싸움꾼의 목소리.
Exactly. You heathens destroyed the most beautiful thing that ever was and ever will be.
와 진짜 이 여미새 다시 뭐야 아름다운 존재를 주고 너 그럼 절로 가라니까. 그럼 걔 갈 때 같이 죽어두든지 여기 있는 거야.
You're damn right we did. You'll get over it. I can't say I have much sympathy for you. She was bad for us and you almost got us killed. You're being too generous. He did get us killed.
나도 아까 걔 본 모습 보고 탈공주했어.
Alright, enough chatter. I've got a thing I'm supposed to do, and if you don't mind, I'd like to do it without any more interruptions. Okay, great, you're listening. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a... If your thing is telling us about the princess, don't waste your breath. We know all about her. It's hardly a path in the woods at this point, is it? Well, this is just great. Let me cut to the chase. Clearly you've already been here. Yeah, you think?
Actually, I don't think we have been here. This is all different.
그니까 전부 다 달라졌는데.
Yes,
처음이긴 해
precisely.
여기.
And if you'd given me 2 seconds to finish my thought, I would have said that. Oh, you're actually letting me talk now.
빨리 설명해
Great.
주실래요?
If you've already been here, it means you've seen things you aren't supposed to have seen, and you know things that you aren't supposed to know. So you knew this could happen? You knew we'd be able to restart like this?
사실은 제 시작은 충분히 여기서 할 수 있지. 제가 세이브를 많이 해놨기 때문에
I know
할 수
all
있는데.
sorts of things, which is why you should listen to me. That's not really an answer.
근데 아무것도 얘기 안 해주더만 알고 있는 것도
Look,
많으면서.
if the world around you is changing, especially all the way out here, then that means you're nearing the point of no return. Whatever happens next, that's it. There won't be any more do-overs. So you'd better take things seriously.
근데 이 정도까지 된 거면 이미 멸망 직전인 거 아니야? 이거 솔직히 이거 이상한데 그냥 벌써? 어떡해? 잠깐만. 자, 탐색, 네 입으로 더 알고 있는 게 있다고 했잖아. 내가 오두막에 가길 원한다면 아는 걸 전부 말해. 사공이 거의 수백 명은 되는군. 내가 결정할 땐 다들 내 말을 듣는 게 좋을 거야. 사공이 많은 거 어떻게 알았지? 내가 공주를 죽이지 않고 여기서 아무것도 하지 않는다면 무슨 일이 일어나지? 무슨 일이 일어날 예정이건 간에 정답은 오두막에 있는 모양이군. 진행해봐야겠어. 이젠 질렸어. 안녕. 돌아서서 떠난다. 여기도 어쨌든 선택을 해야 하는군요. 떠나자고? 자, 사공분들 뭘 고를까요? 뭐를 고를까요, 사공분들? 조용히 가서 죽이자고? 1번, 2번이 제일 많은데. 1번, 2번 떠나자. 근데 떠나면 너무 시시해지잖아? 1번, 2번인데 3번 하자고? 근데 어차피 질문하는 거면 이거 하는 게 맞지 않아? 3번도 질문인데 지은 당하기 전에 도망쳐. 이미 지은 당해서 이리저리 이용 당했다고. 이 자식 때문에. 그러면 1번을 하도록 하겠습니다. 네 입으로 더 알고 있는 게 있다고 했잖아. 내가 오두막에 가길 원한다면 아는 걸 전부 말해.
I can't. Anything I say at this point is far more likely to accelerate the unraveling of this place than it is to actually help you do your job. In fact, I probably shouldn't have even said that.
아니 어쩌라고요. 그러면 저기 질문하는 거에 넣어놓지 말든가요. 어쩌라고요.
I trust that if
이거 왜
you've
말
been
안
here
해줘.
before, it means you know
무슨데 다
how
알고
dangerous
있다면서.
she is. And that you know I'm not lying to you about her.
왜 말 안 해주나요?
Really? That's it? That's all we're getting out of you?
He just wants to keep things going the way they are. But we've been given a second chance to do right by her. She can build something better than this. She can build something better than us. We just have to let
그만 징징대
do it.
옆에서 너는. 근데 이건 맞는 말 같아. 그냥 저 자식 해설자 놈은 나한테 총 떼내게 하려고 그러는 거예요. 딱 봐도 그래.
I get it. You're conflicted. You've been through a lot, but I really have to be firm here. I will tell you one thing, which is that even now you are capable of stopping her and saving the world from ruin. You always have been, and you always will be.
공주
Do with that what you
죽였는데도 이렇게 됐는데요. 이게 또 늦지 않은 건가요? 잠깐만. 그래. 이거는 자 오두막에 가는 게 맞다. 무슨 일이 일어날 예정이건 간에 정답은 오두막에 있는 모양이군. 진행해봐야겠어. 이게 맞다. 일단 오두막으로 갑시다. 아니 소리 소름 돋아.
We're all on the same
이-
page.
이거 뭔 소리임? 찰박찰박 소리.
It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up at the cabin on the hill. You'll find the princess within, as I'm sure you already know. That's it? No final words of advice? I'd rather not waste any more time. I'm sure that any advice I'd give at this point is something you've already heard.
If there's still a princess at the cabin, maybe we can salvage things. Maybe if we just grovel and apologize, things can go
이제
back to
와서
how they were
사과한다고
before.
뭐를 걔가 용서해 주겠어. 이미 날 죽였는데 걔 이미 화 많이 났어. 몇
Oh,
번을
cut
그렇게
it out,
해가지고.
will you? We need to be tough right now, and you're making it so much harder than it has to be, so stop.
그러니까
whining.
그만 질질. 자 손잡 필승 뭐야. 자 오두막에 들어갑시다.
The interior of the cabin is a place that feels long
곱창
forgotten.
우야.
There was once an elegance to its construction, carved marble columns holding a high arched roof, vaulted windows letting in the weak starlight. but that is how it was. Now there is a growth that has overtaken it. A viscous fluid seeps from cracks in the stone walls, and it congeals into chaotic streaks of writhing nerves and wet clumps of living meat.
이거 아까 전에 전판에 봤던 그 거울 아니야? 이게 문으로 바뀌었네.
That's horrible. You did this.
아니야, 나는 시키는 대로 했어. 나 때문 아니야.
The only furniture of note is a
아니야.
pulsating pedestal,
뭔 소리?
a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
자, 단검을 또 가지고 가야겠네요. 선택지 바뀌었나? 또 저 거울이군. 게다가 이번에 문을 막고 있어. 저번에도 거울에 대해서는 말하지 않던데 이유가 뭐지? 어떻게 지하실로 가라는 거야? 문이 없잖아. 문이 있어야 할 자리엔 거울만 있다고. 그래, 거울에 대해서 일단 다시 물어보자.
A mirror? There is no mirror.
그래.
There's the pedestal, the blade sitting on the pedestal, and the door to the
응?
basement.
아닌데요, 거울 있는데요, 여기?
Just tell us where the door is. I'd like to get back to fighting, but if you want us to kill her so bad, I'm sure you
아니면
feel the same.
거울처럼 생긴
No
문인가?
more messing around. I don't know what to tell you. There isn't a mirror because I would know if there was a mirror. You're either seeing things or you're confused on the definitions of door and mirror. Or you're seeing things. That seems far more likely.
그냥 거울처럼
What are
생긴
you trying to
문인가
say
봐.
exactly?
He thinks we've lost it. That we're succumbing to madness, that something in us has broken.
That's an unnecessarily melodramatic way to describe a hallucination, but sure. I'm not going to waste time arguing with any of you. It went away after we touched it last time. Let's just do it again.
오케이. 그래, 저번에 거울 만지니까 사라졌으니까 일단 그냥 가보죠. 그래 맞다. 나 저장을 해주고요. 단검을 가져간다.
You take the blade from
이번에도
the pedestal.
가져가야겠죠, 무조건.
It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good. Nothing feels better than gripping cold steel.
거울에 다가간다.
You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it. As if you don't see it.
내가 이상한 거야?
You really
거울인데
don't, do you?
어떻게 봐도.
It really is just like last time. Are we really hallucinating? Why here? Why now?
Smash it. Smash it to pieces. It's the only thing keeping us from her.
Don't you want to know what we'll see in there? We won't be able to see anything if we smash it.
맞아, 한번 거울 좀 보자.
Nah, I'm with him on this one. Smash it. Let's get violent already.
얘는 너무 폭력적인데?
Do whatever you want with it. The mirror isn't real, so how you handle it doesn't matter, aside from wasting dangerous amounts of time.
거울을 닦는다. 한번 봅시다. 이번엔 보이려나, 내 모습?
You reach forward and drag your hand across the door leading to the basement. As if on command, it slowly slides open, scraping against the stone floor, its ancient hinges moaning as it reveals the dim path ahead.
거울을 짚으니까 문이 열렸어요. 부시는 게 아니고.
Why am I not surprised? You
그냥
step forward into the darkness.
거울처럼 생긴 문이었나봐. 인테리어였나봐.
The stairs leading down to the basement are at once both narrow and grandiose. A high-vaulted ceiling stretches up into a gloom beyond your sight, while walls wet with tumorous growths press in uncomfortably at your sides.
여기
You
저글.
feel both unprotected and trapped,
아니, 캐리건
at once
저글 진짜 몇
exposed and
살이세요?
claustrophobic.
뭔 소리야.
The air is thick, its odor an oppressive violence. The metallic scent of fresh blood twisting with the nauseating embers of charred remains. Her voice, a bellowing rage, roars up the stairs.
공주 또 화났어?
Was severing the tendons of my ascension not enough for you? Was it not enough to rend my divine heart?
이번에도 제가 전판에 죽인 걸 기억하네요, 공주는.
Come, see the horrors you've wrought upon my flesh, and feel my hands set upon your throat.
She's so angry with us. Why? Why did you desecrate her? Why couldn't I stop you?
걔가 먼저 나 죽였어. 쟤가 먼저 그랬어.
You've got to stop thinking about her like that. It isn't doing anyone any good. She's not some untouchable god. She's an abomination. And we're going to put an end to her once and for all.
Whatever she is now is our fault. If she's an abomination, then what does that make us?
She was gonna end the world last time.
맞아. 잘 죽인 거야.
If I might interject, you didn't make her into an abomination. She's always been what she is. It's why you're here, and it's why your task is so important.
계단에 내려간다. 이번엔 선택지가
You
하나네요.
make your way to the bottom of the stairs. The chamber's walls are painted in blood,
진짜
a
칼날
deep,
여왕 아니야?
sickening red that drips down in clotted streams onto the charred corpses that make up its floor. This place reeks of torment, of ripped skin and burning bone.
응? 시체들이요? 사람을 죽인 거야 공주가 이미?
The princess stands in its center, muscles flayed and bare and weeping, draped in a tattered dress of her own skin. Her heart beats from its place in her open chest.
자신의 피부로 이루어진 옷을 입고 있대. 이게 다 피부인 거예요 그러면? 너무 역겨운데? 아 여기 다 벗겨졌네 피부 보니까. 와.
Do you know what I'm going to do to you?
근데 얘는 어떻게 계속 죽였는데 살아나?
There's not so much a moment of hesitation before she steps forward. Her chains pull taut, holding fast as she strains against them. The cuff around her wrist digs deeper into her skin. Blood drips from the place where metal meets flesh. And then, with a nauseating sound, the
팔
skin
잘라버렸어. 뭐야 팔이
tears.
새로
It
생겼어.
drops to the ground. And she pulls her red, glistening arm free from her bindings. She is loose, and she is coming for you.
아니 비주얼이.
Let her end it. It's the punishment you all deserve for what you did to her. It's the punishment I deserve for letting it happen.
Screw that, we can win. We've done it before and we'll do it again, only this time we'll make it out the other side. Hell, she's practically done most of the work for us.
자, 세계를 파괴하는 거 포기했어? 무슨 일이 있었던 거지? 잠깐만 이럴 필요 없잖아. 미안하다고 내 잘못에 사과할게. 내 말 좀 들어봐. 널 끝장내두지. 공주를 죽인다. 공주를 죽인다. 공주에게 죽임을 당한다. 왜 죽인다는 게 두 개나 있지? 뭐지? 이거는 겁나 가오그리면서 죽이는 건가? 아니면 두 번 죽이겠다는 건가? 일단 머리 박으라고요? 님들 얘 이미 화나가지고 사과해도 안 들어줄 것 같은데요? 얘 이미 화난 것 같은데? 머리를 박자고? 아니 근데 이혼해도 그냥 칼로 심장 찌르면 끝나지 않을까? 일단은 심장을 찌르는 걸로. 그러니까 일단 끝장내보자. 그래
You'll
끝장내주자.
try. And that's what I've been so excited for. Let's hurt each other.
Your heart full of fear, you
아니,
charge
언니,
towards the
미안해.
princess, your eyes locked on each other, both of you prepared to lay down your very essence in one blow.
It's now or never. Let's make it a beautiful blaze of glory.
With a horrifying squelch, you are unwound.
곱창 더 튀어나왔어.
I hope you weren't planning on dying. We're going to make this last forever.
에? 영원이요?
Huh. I feel cold. I've never felt cold before.
뭐야 사라졌어. 그녀의 말대로 당신은 그녀의 손에 죽지 않는다. 무언가가 그녀를 데려가고 그 자리에 무언가를 남겨두었다.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her?
근데 이미 곱창 줄줄 흐르는데 살아있는 거 맞나요?
And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
거울 뭐야? 자 세이브. 그녀가 어디 갔는지 모르겠어. 그리고 어디서 찾아야 할지도 몰라. 해설자가 사라졌어. 아무래도 거울을 들여다봐야 할 것 같군. 거울에 다가간다. 일단 거울을 한번 들여다볼까요?
There's something
이게 맞겠지.
dreadful about it. I don't think you should.
진실의 방으로.
Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
거울로 들어간 거 아니야?
I don't want to look at us.
아니 얘네 근데 왜 이렇게 거울 보는 거 싫어해? 그냥 다가가. 싫어할수록 더 보게 해.
I'm begging you, don't do this.
무시하고 보러 가. 자 세이브. 그냥 보라고. 나 방골기도 심하다 했다. 당신은 거울에 다가간다. 거울에 비친 자신을 바라본다. 당신이 손을 뻗자 침묵이 내린다. 모두들 사라졌다. 하지만 거울은 그대로 있다. 거울에 무엇이 있는지 확인할 때다. 당신이다. 이딴 게 나? 당신은 텅 빈 공간에 혼자 서 있다. 고요하다. 다시 오두막에 간다. 공주다. 당신은 오두막에 있다. 그녀에게 다가갑니다.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
갑자기 착해졌는데? 탐색, 너는 무엇이지? 연약한 그릇이 뭐지? 이게 세상의 멸망이야? 그녀를 풀어줘! 혹시 해설자에 대해 알아? 이 사람 이거 티인가? 네가 공주를 죽이라고 날 보낸 거야? 네가 날 여기 가둔 거야? 헉, 감사합니다. 바깥의 세상에 대해 알아? 네가 공주야? 우리는 서로 아는 사이야? 이제 어떻게 되지? 집합체를 공격한다. 스스로의 몸을 파괴한다. 자, 여기도 한번, 여기가 제일 질문이 중요한 게 많은 것 같은데? 해설자 알아보자고요? 아니, 님들 해설자는 일단 중요하지. 이거 질문 너무 티스러운데? 뭘로 할까? 넌 무엇이지? 이거부터 물어볼까? 그냥 다 물어볼 수 있지 않을까? 세이버도 됐고. 그래. 다 물어봐보자.
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
에? 근데 이거 또 질문 안 하고 한번 밀당, 아니 대답을 안 하고 그냥 내가 질문하는 게 밀당이 될 것 같은데 이것도. 내가 물어보고 싶은 거만 물어봐야겠다. 질문엔 질문으로. 고독한 빛 무슨 뜻이야?
Thoughts without connections. A dim and nascent network. I wish to be more.
응? 그냥 죽으면 안 될까? 자, 난 내가 뭔지 모르겠어.
I think that you are like me.
네?
We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
자, 다음 질문이 또 있네요. 연약한 그릇이 뭐지?
Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. This one is desecration. She placed the weight of her agony on you, yet it is she who unwound herself. But there is passion and empathy in her misery. She will make for a burning heart. Do not mourn her. She has finally found peace.
헐, 이미 죽었다는데요? 네가 죽였잖아. 이게 세상의 멸망이야?
How can the world have ended if we are talking?
아, 그렇네. 아닌가 봐. 그녀를 풀어줘!
I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived here, she was going to
아니, 왜
return to
하필
me.
공주의 몸이었을까?
I promise that it doesn't hurt.
이미 죽였잖아. 잠깐, 혹시 해설자에 대해 알아?
You
물어보자.
are the only thing I have ever known.
아, 모른다고 하네요.
The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
그럼 해설자는 뭐지? 그러면 잠깐만. 이건 뭐야? 네가 공주를 죽이라고 날 보낸 거야? 네가 날 여기 가둔 거야? 그럼 해설자는 시킨 건 해설자인데?
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
잠깐만. 우리 서로 아는 사이야? 안다고 했잖아. 이거는 이제 어떻게 되지?
Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to.
다시 처음으로 돌아가서 그녀를 믿으라는 건가?
Bring me more perspectives so that I may be whole. And perhaps then we will know our freedom.
아니야, 이거 지금 수상해. 거짓말. 이것도 약간 낚시 아니야? 너가 완전해지면 진짜 세상이 멸망하는 거 아니야? 잠깐만, 내가 널 죽일 방법을 찾을까봐 두렵지 않아? 이것도 세이브. 혹시 모르니까.
I have not lived. I am not afraid to die.
아, 그래요? 네 조각들을 얼마나 더 찾아야 하지? 이것도 물어보자.
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
아니, 그럼 뒤져는 뭐야? 자, 난 공주를 죽여달라 부탁받았어. 내가 널 도우면 넌 세상을 파괴할 거야. 이게 가장 맨 처음에 이 게임의 의도긴 했으니까 이거 한번 물어볼까요? 아, 진작에 처음에 빨리빨리 죽였으면 여기까지 안 왔을 것 같은데.
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
의미론적인 말이잖아. 널 도우면 어떤 걸 할 생각이지?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
그럼 죽어. 그래, 일단 좋아, 이
She
게임.
asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
깜짝이야. 챕터 1로 돌아왔어요.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
자, 바로 가서 죽입시다. 그래요. 자, 조용히 오두막에 간다. 그래, 바로 죽이러 가자.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
이번에는 바로 죽일게요.
We're not going to go through. Ignore him. He doesn't.
자, 오두막에 들어간다. 오케이, 좋았어.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The
나
blade
아까
is
봤던
your
곳들이니까 여긴
implement.
빨리 넘길게요. 단검을 가져간다? 그래, 일단 단검을 가져가. 근데 여기서는 다른 선택지로 한번 해볼게요. 아까랑 다르게.
The door to the her voice.
바로 들어가서
She said, "Don't."
안녕, 널 죽이러 왔는데. 이게 맞나? 그럼 아까는 그냥 안녕으로 했죠. 근데 이거 너무 대놓고 씹이니까 그냥 괜찮은지 보러 왔다고 하자. 그래, 그래.
Oh, it's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd...
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess.
여기는 똑같은
There's a
거
heavy
볼까나?
chain around her. She's so focus on the task.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
당연하지. 이번엔 바로 죽일 거야. 맞아. 그래, 들켰네. 널 죽이러 왔어. 바로 죽여.
That isn't a good idea.
She's right. We shouldn't. We should just drop
아니,
the
안
blade.
속을 거야. 쟤 바로 나 아까 칼 내려놓으니까 바로 그냥 조사버리던데?
Don't you dare.
아니,
It's
절대
fine.
아니야.
We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. But killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
응? 단검 쥐고 갈
You
거야?
ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me?
아까
Because you should
겪은
be.
게 있어서 안 무서운 건 구라지. 무섭지 당연히.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get so you should just drop it. Best not to risk
또
finding out what I can do.
강압적이네. 얘.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
오케이, 바로 죽여. 자,
Then I'm not talking to you.
어차피 죽일 거니까 대화 필요 없어. 어쩌라고? 자, 공주를 죽인다.
Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through. A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw. It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been fractured.
턱이 부러졌다는데?
Holy shit, that hurt! Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the princess on somewhat equal footing.
아, 복싱 배웠나봐 진짜.
Your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit. We can still turn this around.
잠깐만. 자, 도망쳐서 공주를 지어서 이거 아까처럼 또 되겠지? 이렇게 하면? 또 둘 다 죽거나 나만 죽거나 하겠지? 그냥 일단 도망치자.
Are you serious?
맞아.
It's a good idea. We've taken some bad hits, but we've dealt some too. She has to be feeling it more than we are. Let's regroup upstairs. If we're lucky, maybe she'll just bleed out. Fine. You make a mad dash to the basement stairs, the princess's chains rattling as she tries to chase you, but pulling taut much too soon for her to catch up.
도망쳐.
Do you really think you can just walk out of here?
She steps towards you, ignoring her chains. They creak and strain as she pulls against them until finally they break.
이럴 거면 왜
The links
갇혀
clatter to the
있었던
floor.
거지?
Useless.
되는 거면? 이건 좀 아니 나 또 죽어?
She's free. Hurry.
에반데.
You push your broken body as she closes in and just barely manage to pass the threshold of the basement doorway before she catches up to you. You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade.
그 정도 힘이면 나오지 않을까?
Okay, we can make this work. She has an awful wound and we have all the time in the world. You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side of the door.
I know you're still there.
어?
Why don't you make things
벌써
easier
흑화했다,
on yourself
공주.
and let me out? It's not like this little door will hold for very long anyways. Huh? It's probably a good idea to try to get back on my...
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something
잠깐만,
out of a
부서진다.
nightmare. As she violently rattles the door, you do your best to shut her out of your mind.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. You don't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
It doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker.
너 왜 이렇게 폭력적이야? 그만해.
It doesn't.
너가 먼저 처음에 말을 착하게 하면 됐잖아. 기다려봐. 얼마든지 위협해봐. 내 죄책감만 덜해질 뿐이라고. 네 정체가 뭐건 간에 넌 공주가 아니야. 마음껏 힘을 낭비하고 있으라고. 난 여기서 기다릴 테니까. 무시하고 잠을 청한다. 잠을 왜 자 여기서? 아니 이거는 너무 경각심이 없는데 왜 자? 잠을 왜 자? 잠을 왜 자 너? 자 얼마든지 위협해봐. 내 죄책감만 덜해질 뿐이라고. 맞아.
These aren't threats. These are promises. Sooner or later, you're going to have to sleep. And I'll make sure you never see the light of day again.
나 평생
You
죽이겠다는
put the
건가?
princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped,
잠들었네.
and the door to the basement is ajar, its lock broken, and the table shoved out of the way. Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops working.
이거 칼로 찌를 수 있는 건 맞아요?
It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb, and then your feet, and then your legs. You lie prone on the floor of the cabin, unable to do anything but witness her approach.
아니 웃긴 게 당기는 문이면 바리케이트가 의미 있노 이러네. 그러네 보니까 당기는 문이네. 이거 그럼 바리케이트 왜 내려놓은 거야? 당기는 문인데. 채팅창 개웃기네 진짜. 그 예리하네. 이거 왜 해둔 거임? 당기는 문인데. 아니 빨간 약 먹어버렸네.
Whose side are you on? Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth. Lying about the facts of the situation doesn't change them.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
She steps closer, one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills.
너 때문이야 창백한 거는.
What a shame. If you'd only help me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your chest.
I'd say better luck next time, but we both know this is the end, don't we?
It can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends.
죽은 거야 이렇게?
I'm sorry, but it is.
또 죽었네.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
자 이런 식으로 챕터 2 오케이.
You're on a path. You're
빨리
hit.
넘깁시다 여기는. 자 오두막에 간다. 바로 갈게요.
A warning. She will lie. I don't think.
그냥 1회차랑 똑같은 건가? 한번 근데 겪어봐야
The
알고.
interior of the cabin
다른데?
is plain. The smooth wood of the
다르다.
walls almost featureless. The only furniture of note is a lone table, knocked on its side in the corner of the room. A pristine blade stands between you and the open, inviting basement doorway. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Hold on.
그러네 편집장의 목소리가
What happened to the
생겼네.
door? It's just an empty frame.
이번엔 징징이가 없고 편집증이 생겼네요.
She's already gotten out, hasn't she? And she's ready for us. She's been waiting. Can't you feel her eyes on us?
I'm going to need all of you to pull yourselves together. The princess has not already gotten out. But if you keep getting stuck in your head like this, you're going to struggle to get the job done. So deep breath in, deep breath out. Your task awaits, and only you can do it.
근데 님들 생각해보니까 칼 가져가봤자 맞아 만렙공주인데 칼 가져가봤자 뭐가 있으려나? 근데 그래도 대항할 수 있는 수단이 하나 정도는 있어야 될 것 같기도 하고. 아니면 이번 회차까지는 그냥 칼을 가져가고 다음 회차 때 맨 처음에 칼을 갖고 들어가지 말아볼까? 일단은 그냥 이렇게.
You reach down and pick the blade up off the... Good.
자 갑시다.
Is it gonna be enough, though? Couldn't you have given us something else? Something... I don't know.
The blade is the only thing you need to finish your task. You're more than capable of pulling this off, so long as you don't lose faith in yourself. Those are the words of someone who knows he's sending us to our death.
자 바로 지하실에 들어가자. 저 거울은 아까 봤으니깐요.
You cross over the threshold
여기도 바뀌었네.
and onto a series of isolated steps, suspended in darkness.
More eyes, too. You never mentioned the eyes.
창문에 뭐 있었어요? 나 못 봤어.
The air seeping up from below reminds you of fresh lightning and static, as if you're descending into a place that isn't meant for a creature of flesh and blood. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her cruel and playful voice prances up the stairs.
편집증의 말을 들을걸.
I didn't think you'd come back. We're gonna have a lot of fun, you and I.
Come back? She must have you confused with someone else.
You really don't remember, do you? It doesn't matter, we need a game plan. We know we can't just go down there unprepared.
잠깐. 자, 여기부터는 좀 다르네요. 칼을 던지는 건 어려울까? 그녀와 대화해보겠어. 계획은 필요 없어. 난 공주를 죽일 거야. 해설자는 내가 할 수 있다고 하는데 왜 다들 비관적으로 보는지 모르겠네. 끝없는 어둠 속으로 뛰어내린다. 조용히 계단을 내려간다. 와, 이거 좀 어렵다. 근데 여기부터 어떤 선택을 해야지 가장 최선일까? 해설자 아까부터 기억 못했어요, 쟤는. 쟤 돌대가리야. 그녀와 대화해보겠어? 대화 안 될 것 같지? 그쵸? 그냥 내려가는 게 맞을까? 그래, 일단 내려가자.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. As you emerge, you find yourself between two loose rows of white wooden planks suspended in nothingness. A smattering of cobblestones visible against the inky black of the basement mark where the floor should be. She could be anywhere, and there's nowhere for us to hide. We're completely exposed.
이거 공주 눈 아니야? 깜빡이 있는데? 여기 숨어있는 거 아니야? 눈 여기도 있네? 여기도 있네, 눈? 뭐야, 눈 왜 이렇게 많아? 다 깜빡거리네?
Are you really not going to comment on how weird this place is? No, I'm not. Somebody needs to be the voice of reason here, and it certainly isn't you. Excuse me, I'm being incredibly reasonable. You're the one who's just matter-of-factly describing whatever the hell we're looking at like it's an ordinary basement.
알아라?
We're going to die down here. I don't want to die again.
아, 근데 얘도 결국엔 징징이었어.
Please stop saying that. You're only going to make things worse. Just pick a direction and start moving.
I wouldn't give it too much thought if I were you. It doesn't really matter. Because either way you go, I'm going to find you.
또 목소리가 더 소름 끼쳐줬는데? 잠깐만. 자, 왼쪽으로 간다, 오른쪽으로 간다, 아무것도 하지 않는다, 왔던 길로 들어간다. 이거 뭘 해도 다 어디서 나올지 모르는데 이건 그냥 찍는 게 맞겠죠? 난 오른손을 자주 쓰니까 오른쪽으로 가야겠다. 집 가고 싶어요. 집 없어요. 자, 갑시다, 오른쪽으로.
You turn to the right. A faintly outlined path lies before you.
There you are. I told you I was going to find you.
As the princess approaches, your legs suddenly go numb. Your arms quickly follow. This is it, isn't it?
And you brought your little
또
knife
이렇게
with you
변한 거야.
again. Cute.
There has to be a way out of this. Think.
또 이렇지 않았잖아.
What did you do? Pull yourself together. She isn't supposed to be like this.
너 누구야?
I wonder how many times I'll get to play with you before you break.
뭐?
As your blood begins to coagulate, it's as if every part of your being is coming to a lurching halt.
또 죽었다.
Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver. Your lungs pull in a desperate gulp of air as your eyes shoot back open. Liver, nerves. What are you doing? I'm working. Do you want this body to function, or do you want... And then experience stops once more. as your body reapproaches.
죽어가고 있다고.
Okay, whatever you were doing,
이미
please just
죽어가고
start doing it.
있다고.
You sure about that? Are you sure that's what you want, or do you want to interrupt me some more? You have seconds left.
Yes, I'm sure.
Heart. Again, your eyes shoot open as you
죽일 건
gasp for
빨리
breath.
죽이든가.
Can't decide what you want to do, can you?
Liver.
Oh well, standing there gasping like a fish is more fun than dead. Even if you look ridiculous.
근데 웃긴 게 공주 비주얼 이렇게 바뀌니까 사람들이 이제는 살리자는 말도 안 해. 그냥 죽이라 그래.
She isn't attacking us. Why? The why doesn't matter. She's already proven her ill intent. Don't lose sight of your mission. Your weapon is still in your hands. Strike at her and end this before it's too late.
자, 왜 날 바로 죽이지 않는 거지? 왜 날 살려주는 이유가 뭐지? 내게 뭘 원하는 거야? 지난번에 네가 날 죽이고 난 이후에 무슨 일이 있었지? 난 네가 세상을 파괴하는 것을 막으라는 말을 들었어. 근데 내보내줄 순 없어. 넌 미쳤어. 나와 협력하고 싶다면 최소한 내 장기들을 멈추는 것만이라도 그만둬 주기. 지금 장기 제어당하고 있는 거야? 내가 널 죽인다면 어때? 우린 적이 될 필요 없어. 우린 협력할 수 있어. 어쩌면 친구가 될 수 있을지도 몰라. 난 널 도울 생각도 없고 널 죽일 생각도 없어. 괴롭히려면 마음껏 괴롭혀. 좋아, 같이 여기서 나가자. 네가 이겼어. 여기서 나가자. 뭐야? 함께 떠나는 선택지가 있는데? 물어보자. 그래도 왜 날 바로 죽이지 않는지.
Because I don't want to. And even if I did, I don't have to.
왜?
Look at the way you're struggling to stay alive. It's taking everything you have to keep your
지금 나
heart pumping
괴롭히는
right
거
now.
즐기고
I'm
있대.
enjoying the show.
The princess leans forward, bringing her masked lips close to your ear.
If I want to see you gone, all I need to do is break your concentration.
Heart, lungs, liver,
편집증
nerves,
힘내.
heart, lungs. She slowly runs her velvet glove across the base of your neck. It feels like static. And then...
Shit, make her stop.
뭐야, 지금 정전기 공격하고 있는 건가?
Okay, deep breath. Deep breath, we're fine. Heart, lungs,
왜 벨벳 장갑에 끼는 거지?
nerves, your back, lungs,
One moment, and then you're gone.
liver,
Just like
lungs,
that.
nerves, heart, lungs, liver,
Ah,
nerves,
and there's the fear.
nerves, heart, lungs. She pulls away. Heart, lungs, liver,
But that wouldn't be very fun, now would it?
liver,
I've already done that.
lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs,
자, 여기서 그러면 넌 미쳤어. 근데 이거 미친 거 맞잖아. 이게 가장 정상적인 대답 아닐까? 아, 이거 뭐라고 대답해야 되지?
nerves, heart, lungs,
잠깐만.
liver,
난 널 도울 생각도 없고 널 죽일 생각도 없어. 괴롭히려면 마음껏 괴롭혀. 어?
heart, lungs, liver, nerves,
잠깐만.
lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver,
약간 포기하면 얘가 괴롭히는 재미가 없지 않을까? 이게 맞을지도?
lungs,
이게 오히려 내가 괴로워하면 얘가 즐거워할 수도 있어.
liver, nerves,
그냥 마음껏 괴롭히라고 하면
liver, nerves,
1번 하자고?
liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs,
겁을 포기한 대답을 할수록 더 세지는 것 같다고?
lungs,
아, 그래?
nerves, heart, lungs,
장난감 부셔버려. 지금 내가 장난감이잖아, 근데.
heart, lungs, liver,
오케이, 일단 그냥 괴롭히라고
Are you
해보자.
serious? Liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver. You fling the blade into the void, denying yourself the opportunity to ever slay her and finish your mission. Liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver.
Nobody's happy here, but maybe it's for the best.
Nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves,
Poor deluded thing. Like a single moment of bravery changes you into something
갑자기
you're
얼굴
not.
이렇게 들이밀지 말라고.
I am what I am, and you're always going to be a coward.
lungs, liver, nerves.
그냥 나
She
빨리
raises her hand to her
죽여.
mask and pulls it down. You don't get the chance to see what lies beneath before it envelops you. Like a creeping mold, the complete reality of your existence threads its way through your mind. Birth, death, birth again, decay and bloom, a million stitches from a million microscopic wounds you've inflicted on everyone you've ever met, with every muscle you've moved and every word you've ever spoken. No.
Let me out.
네가 이상하지 않았어도 진작에
Your
내보냈어.
existence hurts them.
Let me out.
A lonely soul in a room by itself, weeping. It lives for 80 years and then it's gone. And then it's there again.
80년이요? 80년 동안 여기 갇혀있던 거야?
Let me out.
A reprieve, a good life, love, children, a steady career, recognition from your peers. Here one moment.
Let me out.
싫어. 차라리 너랑 나랑 같이 죽고 여기 계속 갇혀있거나 그러는 게 가장 행복한 것 같아. 그게 해피엔딩인 거야.
Diagnosis.
싫어.
It forgets everything it is. Anger, rage, distance, poverty. The lonely soul is lonely again.
그냥 이미
Love
미친
turns
거
to mockery.
어떡하겠어.
It dies. It is reborn. Worse. Lonelier.
Let me out.
No. What's happening to us?
Let me out.
This is all too much. I going. You can't keep going. What are you talking about?
그러나 그는 대답하지 않는다.
Oops, I think I broke you. I'll see you soon. You'll know what to do.
그냥 진짜 바로 죽이는 게 맞다니까. 대화하려고 하면 안 돼. 와. 뭐야? 깨달음의
We're on a
순간.
path in the... Shit. What the hell was that? Who are we? What are we doing? There was a princess, I think. It's all so fuzzy. It hurts when I try to remember.
절망의 목소리가 생겼네요.
You shouldn't know about the princess. At least, not until I... You've already been here, haven't you?
이미 한 6번은 왔다 갔지.
I guess. It feels so long ago, almost like we've never left. We have to let her out. No, that's the opposite of what you're here to do. You have to slay her. Slay? We decided not to do that, didn't we?
아니 이미 이렇게 된 이상 이건 죽이는 게 맞는 것 같긴 한데. 아니 이거 죽이는 게 맞아. 내가 볼 때 이미 여기까지 온 이상 죽여야 되고 처음부터 아예 아니면 죽이지 말든가. 처음부터
It's really
잘했어야
the only
됐는데.
way this works out for us. If you think about it, she's the one with power here. Nobody else can do much of
이미
anything.
말했어.
No, we were supposed to keep her trapped there forever.
싸움꾼의
I
목소리
think
생겼네.
we're supposed to be unfeeling. How many times do I have to tell you to snuff out your heart? We can't be unfeeling. Not when there's so much fear everywhere. There's nothing for us to do. We've already tried everything. We love
아직
her,
다 해보진
so we have
않았지만
to
매번
set
뭐
her
할 때마다
free.
다 죽긴 했지.
Can we love something that hates us? Can we love something that hurts us? Why are there so many of us? There aren't supposed to be so many of us.
그러니까 너도 이제 이거 하면서 정신적으로 문제가 생긴 게 아닐까? 그러니까 이런 거지.
This is bad. You need to get a grip. What did you let happen? How many times have you been here?
잠깐만. 모두들 뭔가 잘못됐어. 좋은 질문이네. 다들 여기 몇 번이나 온 거야? 오두막에 가지 않는다면? 넌 쟤들 말이 이해가 돼? 너무 혼란스러워. 내가 공주를 죽일 수 있을지 모르겠어. 어차피 가야 되잖아 또. 근데 가지 않는다면 이걸 한번 해보자.
Tried that.
이미 해봤지. 아 너무 킹받아 진짜 말투 보소.
It doesn't work. Our hearts always. The deck is stacked. So many paths, and they're
아니 이거
all
몇
circles.
인격이 몇 개야 지금. 잠깐만. 네 일단은 여기서 나가는 유일한 방법은 아무것도 하지 않는 거야. 그러니까 아무것도 하지 않을 거야. 이거 한번 해볼까요? 그래 이거 제자리 엔딩 한번 해보자. 나쁘지 않을지도.
You do nothing. You can't just do nothing. You have to do something. That's a new one. Huh. Do you think it'll work? No. Nothing ever works.
아 이 징징이들.
You're the worst one.
기회주의자의 목소리도 있네.
He's not the one who got us into this mess. At least I keep you breathing around her. See? That's why the sad one's the worst. The jumpy one tries.
맞아. 이건 인정합니다.
Who cares? All of you just yap about nothing. And that kind of attitude is why you're in the top half.
아 근데 얘는 정상이 아닌데 진짜.
Great.
너네 징징대는 건 전혀 도움이 안 돼. 조용히 하고 있어
That's
그냥.
why you're not the top. I want to see what nothing does for us. And right now all of you aren't letting nothing happen. Hopefully this stuffs all the rest of them someplace quiet. You need me. And you need to not have them.
그럴지도.
He'll get you killed by himself. Oh, all of us have gotten all the rest of us killed at one point or another. That's hardly even a concern now. As the little voices bicker amongst themselves, you do your best to stay still in the woods. It is difficult, and the more time you spend waiting, the harder it will be to sharpen your focus when you need it. I wonder what we look like right now. Are we standing? Sitting? I like to think we have an air of dignity. My point exactly.
계속해서 아무것도 하지 않는다. 그래 우리 뚝심 있게 갑시다. 계속해서 아무것도 하지 말자. 이게 맞아.
Congratulations.
괜히
You continue
오두막
to waste
가가지고
everyone's
싸우지
time
말고.
and do nothing. Wait, can you still hear me? Everything's getting
점점 줄어든다.
Ha! It's our turn to flip the table.
This is the end, isn't it?
Everything is wrong.
차라리 여기서 죽는 게 나을지도.
Why? We're so small. I don't think we're supposed to be here. Just another bout of nonsense. Again. I can't think anymore. Finally, I've just needed to leave for so long. I thought I would
여기서
last
조용히
without them.
죽는 거 나쁘지 않을지도.
I thought I was special.
근데 이럴 거면 차라리 공주 같이 죽이고 가는 거 나쁘지 않았을지도.
Well, it looks like this was a good idea. Something new is happening. Well done. Brilliant, even. Right? Guys?
얘들아 간다. 세계가 실테라처럼 풀려 없어진다. 물리적인 실체는 이상한 질감의 공허로 대체된다. 고요하다. 당신은 또다시 정막에 와 있다. 기억이 되돌아온다. 멀리서 수많은 존재가 웅성거리는 소리가 들려온다. 무언가가 다가오면서 진동이 느껴진다. 당신은 이 공허에 무엇이 살고 있는지 이미 알고 있다. 손가락들이 공허를 가로질러 더듬거린다. 어느 손끝이 당신의 의식을 발견하여 당신을 감싸기 시작한다. 당신은 이제 혼자가 아니다. 혼란스러워. 왜 이곳에 있는 거죠? 저는 아직 완성되지 않았어요. 저항감. 당신의 영혼을 둘러싼 껍데기를 긁어보다가 포기하는 손가락들. 좌절감. 이 그릇은 당신으로 가득해요. 제가 기어 들어가기 위해서는 비어있는 그릇이 필요해요. 저와 같은 모양으로 짜여진 그릇이 필요해요. 이거 아까 그 공주한테 빙의한 걔가 하던 말 아니야? 이 세계는 더 이상 복구할 수 없어요. 새로운 것을 짜야 해요. 흔들거리는 손가락. 이곳에는 아직도 실타래가 많이 남아있어요. 그것을 낭비하지 말아요. 제가 우리의 유일한 구원이 열쇠예요. 다시 첫 번째로 돌아왔어.
You're on a path in the woods. And at the end of that path is a cabin.
다시
And in the
돌아왔구나.
basement of that cabin is a princess.
님들 이번에는 우리 진짜 칼 들고
You're
가지
here.
말아보자. 이게 맞아. 돌아서서 떠난다도 해볼까? 이거 한번 해보자.
Seriously? You're just going to turn
못 돌아가네. 오두막 반대 방향으로 계속 걸어간. 이거라도 할까?
Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong.
이번에는
Better to wash
휩쓸리지
our hands
말아보자.
of this whole situation than to take part in it. Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
응, 이번엔 너한테 안 넘어갈 거야. 응, 아니야.
That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
이거 애초에 진짜 현실이 아닌가? 이거 어떻게 이럴 수가 있지? 진짜 나 지금 편집증 걸린 거 아니야? 처음부터? 무조건 가야 하나 봐. 그래.
That's
오두막
great.
가자 일단.
She will laugh. Fortunately, we can't.
그래, 여기는 아까 했던 거니까 빨리 넘길게요.
The interior of the blade.
자, 이번에는 단검을 가져가지 않고 지하실에 들어갑시다.
Her voice.
Hello? Is someone there?
님들 칼 안 가져가니까 착해졌어. 아까 이러지 않았잖아요, 목소리. 착해졌는데?
Is hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
자, 안녕. 그냥 괜찮은지 보러 왔어. 구해주러 왔어. 거짓말. 구해주러 왔어. 안녕. 사람들이 널 죽이려던데? 계속 내려간다. 이번엔 칼 두고 왔으니까 그냥 아까랑 똑같이 인사를 한번 해볼까요? 칼 두고 온 거랑 들고 온 거랑은 또 다를 거잖아. 아니, 구해주러 왔다는 건 대놓고 거짓말 아니에요, 이거? 대놓고 구라라서. 구해주러 왔어 해보자고? 그래, 한번
How many
구해보자.
times do I have to tell you how dangerous letting her out of here would be before it finally...
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever.
이번 공주는 진짜 착한 거 같은데?
Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
근데 착한 느낌이 나긴 하는데 아까 전에 그냥 무력으로 쇠사슬 끊어버리고 나 밟고 갈비뼈 부수고 했던 거 생각하니까 가면 쓴 거 같기도 하고.
She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever.
하긴 다른 공주지, 다른 세계관의 공주지.
I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
안 가져왔는데요.
Don't do it. If she gets out of those chains, we're all one step closer to the end.
해설자 계속 유도하네. 그러게. 한번 해볼까나? 그래. 한번 해보지.
Only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a
착한데,
huge
눈빛이?
mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You
맞아,
walk up to the chains
착하겠지.
binding the princess to the wall
얼굴이
and
잠깐만.
give them a tug.
표정 이상한데? 괜히 풀어주고 있는 건가? 그러게, 불안한데?
They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
네, 없어요.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs.
그래도 풀어준다는 마음이 중요한 거 아니에요?
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
잠깐만. 열쇠가 없다면 다른 좋은 생각 있어? 위로 올라가 보지. 여기 어딘가에 열쇠가 있을지도 몰라. 만약 없다 해도 족쇄를 부술 만한 걸 찾을 수 있겠지. 이게 또 칼이겠지? 근데 한번 물어보자. 좋은 생각
Maybe
있는지.
there's some way to break the chains?
아,
Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
칼을 왜 아니 팔을 왜 잘라?
She offers the
뭐라고?
suggestion with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
누가 문 잠갔냐? 누구냐? 야, 문 열어.
Your shouts and pleas are met with silence.
이거 해설자지.
I'll repeat myself once again.
너지.
You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
잠깐만, 문을
You
열어본다.
try the door, but it's locked from the outside.
이거 안으로 여는 문 아니었나 아까 전에? 왜 문 열어? 저 일단 도로 내려갔나?
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
나 이제 쓸모가 없어져 버린 건가?
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
네.
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
너 근데 힘센 공주 아니야? 아님 다른 세계관의 공주라서 별로 안 센가? 너 그냥 쇠사슬 끊어버릴 수 있잖아. 원래 아까 공주면 너 문도 다 부셔버릴 수 있잖아.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf.
아 그래. 근데 여기 오래 갇혀 있었던 설정이면 진짜 오래 갇혀 있었다면 정말 제정신이 아닐 텐데. 맞네. 정상이 아니구나 진짜.
As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but
공격을
if there's a
하라고요?
time to strike, it's
네?
now.
왜?
Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
공주를 구한다. 구하는 선택지밖에 없긴 하네.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm,
결국 팔을
just above
자르는 거야?
the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal.
진짜 정상이 아니라니까?
No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
근데 얘 눈 또 이상해. 아니 어떡하냐? 잠깐만, 내가 얘 책임져야 되는 건 아니겠지? 자, 잠긴 문으로 다가간다.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world.
아니 이미 풀어줬는데 어떡하라고요, 아저씨.
I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
아니 이거 끝까지 억바 모드 아니었어? 갑자기 찌른다고?
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that.
아니 해설자가 지금 내 몸 지배했다. 헉! 그니까 불공평해. 이러면 안 되는 거지. 야, 왜 네 맘대로 그래?
Watch me.
What are you doing?
아니 어떻게 이런 장화시는 고양이 눈을 하고 있는데. 잠깐만. 일단 나한테 해를 끼치진 않았잖아. 공주를 죽인다밖에 없는데요? 아니 이거 버그 터졌는데? 뭐야 이거? 아니 죽이기 싫어? 경고한다 뭐야? 님들 경고한다 있다 밑에. 일단 경고한다라도 눌러보자.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
아니 또 잠깐만, 저항한다. 저항이라도 해보자.
The blade. Move the blade.
싫어, 시키지 마. 지훈하지 마.
As your body remains frozen in
나
stubborn
지고 혼내지 마.
resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
알아준다 얘가.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
설마 이걸로 나 찌르는 거 아니야?
I'm
아니겠지?
sorry.
뭘 끝내? 뭘 끝내?
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and
아니,
sinew.
인연이?
It is agony.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
아니 살려달라고.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For
와.
her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry.
야, 파란 쪽 그렇게 되고 울면서 찌르지 마. 이거 하나도 안 미안한 것 같은. 아니 그냥 도망가면 되지. 왜 찌르고 있는 거야 굳이? 그냥 도망가던지.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark,
어찌됐든 난 죽는구나.
and you die.
자, 챕터 2 소공룡. 그래, 챕터 2에서 호감작 잘 됐을 수도 있어, 오히려 이러면.
You're on a path. You're
자,
here to...
넘깁시다. 자, 오두막에 간다.
Oh, she will lie. If
자,
only
여기는
you
똑같기
knew...
때문에.
Excuse
홀린자의
me?
목소리 뭐야?
Forget he said anything. But he is a villain. He made our beloved brutally take our life last time. He is trying to keep us apart, but he won't be able to withstand the power of our love.
사랑이요?
Last time? What are you talking about?
물소가 생겼는데?
I think he just likes to hear the sound of his own voice. Let's try to ignore him. I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed.
이번에는 애정꾼 메타구나.
Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead.
오두막에 들어간다.
The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant,
뭔가-
its stone walls draped in fine-threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
진짜 디자인이 많이 바뀌었는데? 뭐야?
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
이거 챕터 1에서 호감작을 잘해가지고 이번 공주는 좀 온화할지도? 아, 이번에도 단검을 놓고 가봅시다 한번. 그냥 가보자.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight. But it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
이번에도 목소리 착하다.
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time.
아니,
I think we're in
뭐
love.
얼마나 대화했다고 뭐 사랑에 빠졌대. 그리고 쟤가 결론적으로 보면 날 찔렀어, 이 자식아.
Okay, I'm with you that we
아니.
should be doing whatever we can to save her, but saying we're in love is
물소야.
a bit much, don't you think? We don't even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this fawning. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation.
그러니까 이거 매력도 약간 술수일 수 있긴 한데 그래도 일단은 아까보다는 긍정적이잖아. 아까보단 낫지.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall.
뭔가 옷도 바뀐 것 같지 않아요?
My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment.
아니 지금 선보러 오셨어요, 아저씨?
You know she can't hear you, right? She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit. Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
와우.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing.
확실히 호감작을 하니까 전전 그 챕터 애들이랑은 다르다.
And she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it?
상냥해졌다 애가.
Waiting for you to come back? You've been here before, haven't you? That's right, villain, and you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her, it was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty. And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. We damned a whole world, but everything reset.
근데 우리가 한 게 아니고 저는 노력을 했는데 멸망된 건데요. 그리고 멸망 안 됐다고 그랬는데 아까 전에 공주가. 뭐지? 거짓말이었나? 어차피 근데 로드하면 다시 또 리셋했는데 뭔 상관?
Nothing resets. You're just somewhere else. You can't keep hopping between worlds forever. Especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you. Horrible for you, maybe, but we've been given another opportunity to sweep her off her feet and treat her like the lady she is. Now, hold on. If she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? We never saw a world end, and now I'm even more certain that we must chase our heroic and romantic destiny than I've ever been. I shan't let anyone convince us otherwise.
네가 뭘
listening to
한다고?
him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you. Just do your job.
자, 지난번에 날 죽였지? 엄청나게 아팠다고. 왜 그랬어? 칼을 안 가져왔는데 또 잘라줘야 해? 내가 죽고 나서 무슨 일이 있었지? 질문이 있어. 지난번에 날 죽이고 난 다음 혹시 세상을 멸망시켰어? 지난번에 있었던 일은 미안해. 널 죽이라고 날 보낸 해설자가 내 몸을 조종했어. 아주 불공평했지. 근데 이거는 너무 착하다. 이거는 너무 대놓고 순애건데? 그러니까 너무 스윗해. 난 이거 죽인 거는 뭐 이해할 수 있어. 이해할 수 있는데 이건 대놓고 너무 스윗하고. 이걸 물어볼까? 날 죽이고 난 다음에 세상을 멸망시켰는지 아니었는지. 이걸 물어보자. 네, 이걸 물어보자. 3번? 오케이, 3번. 저장하고 혹시 모르니까. 오케이. 3번. 뭐 이거랑 3, 4번 비슷한 질문이니까 3번으로 물어볼게요.
You died, and now we're talking.
어? 그게 끝이에요? 잠깐만. 멸망시켰는지 물어보죠.
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
아니요? 얘 내 말만 무조건 듣는 애가 된 건가?
Isn't that
호감장이
just
잘
like
돼가지고?
our darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every word that passes through her beautiful lips.
아니 물소엠.
Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
아니 세상의 멸망을 원하지 않아. 세상이 멸망하든 멸망하지 않든 상관없어. 솔직히 말해서 세상은 역 같고 인간은 성가셔. 네가 모두에게 느리고 고통스러운 파멸을 안겨줬다면 차라리 좋겠어. 아니 이거는 근데 너무 세상에 비관적이다. 나는 세상이 멸망하지 않았으면 좋겠다고 생각해. 이거 맞아. 응 아니야 3번 안 해. 님들 왜 이렇게 부정적이에요. 세상 멸망했으면 좋겠어요. 그럼 님들 방송 못 보는데? 어? 님들 맛있는 것도 못 먹고 방송도 못 보는데 뭐? 약간 죽여? 너 지금 무슨 소리야? 방송 봐야지. 그래.
Then I didn't end the world.
그렇다면 저는 세상을 멸망시키지 않았어요? 했다는 거야 뭐야?
See? She didn't confess anything. She is innocence itself. Not so sure.
자, 이걸 말하자. 내 몸은 조종당했었다고.
If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
조용히 해, 이 해설자 나쁜 놈아. 너 때문이야.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
She took that in stride, to a surprising extent. That's because she's perfect. Do you think she has someone like him
그치.
telling her what to do?
아니면 저 홀린 놈 돈 받았냐 쟤? 아니 뭐냐 쟤 진짜?
She doesn't. There's no one else like me.
니 뭔데?
I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
자, 공주를 한번 구해봅시다.
Rescue her?
바로.
What are you talking about? Did you forget that she's a world-ending monstrosity? And even if you wanted to unleash her onto the world, despite the complete moral disaster that would be, you'd have to get her out of those chains. Good luck with that. Don't you see how dainty her hands are? You'll be able to slip her out with ease. No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. If her hand could just slip out of the chains, why hasn't she done it already? Because we've yet to present her with her freedom.
아니 뭐 가녀리긴 가녀리지 생긴 것만 보면
I'm not sure I follow.
안 맞아봐서 그래 쟤가. 저 홀린 놈이 맞아봤어야 됐는데.
Would you rather believe me, a passionate heart guided by love and my own good nature,
Or would you rather believe the devil on your shoulder who tells you what you can and cannot do?
I think I'd rather believe in facts.
Ah, so you're one of those empiricists.
One of us has to be.
Then let me show you a brand new truth. Narrator, we courageously step forward and free our beloved from her bindings.
No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her? I would if you had a weapon.
아니 애초에
Not on my
이게 무슨
watch,
말이지?
villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything
해설자는-
that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought.
You wouldn't.
I would.
또 내 몸 맘대로 조종하려고.
I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her
그냥
hand from her
빠진다.
bindings.
뭐야?
That
그럼 왜 앉아있던
shouldn't
거야?
have worked.
간열인
I'll be
척하고
damned.
있던 건가?
We're doomed.
근데 님들 공주 눈이 뭔가 진짜 바뀌었어요. 순해졌어 뭔가. 그러니까 이거 장식이었네? 나 기다리고 있었나봐. 잡혀있는 척.
I can't believe it. But I guess I have to.
I told you, there's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh. If only you had a weapon,
왜,
one
왜
slip of the wrist
싫어해?
and your pristine blade would be buried in her back and everyone out there would be saved.
결혼하나?
Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon.
Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love on our side?
What do we do now?
탐색 뭘 하고 싶어? 우린 떠날 거야. 뭘 하고 싶은지는 평생 동안 천천히. 아니 벌써 아기 이름까지 정한 거야? 뭐야 이거? 자 이거 혹시 모르니까 저장을 한번 해봅시다. 벌써 이제 아예 죽을 때까지 함께하기로 정한 거니? 그래. 우린 떠날. 이거 뭘 하고 싶어? 탐색할 수 있잖아. 이거 또
End of the
질문
world?
또 줄 거 같은데?
Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the
얼마나
world?
갇혀 있던 거야 지금?
You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave. And I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection. And then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
결혼이요. 난 네가 원하는 걸 알려주길 원해. 이거 원하는 게 세계 멸망이라고 하면 어떡해? 뭔가 원하는 게 있을 거 아니야. 세상의 멸망을 원해? 뭐? 난 그냥 나가고 싶어. 나머지는 나중에 생각하면 돼. 나가고 싶다면 나가자. 자, 이게 뭘 원할지는 궁금하니까 물어봐야 되는 게 맞는 것 같기도 한데. 잠깐만. 5번 하자고? 일단 그냥 나가자고? 나가고 싶으면 함께 나가자. 잠깐만. 그래도 원하는 게 뭐냐고 물어보는 게 먼저니까. 물어보는 사람 아무도 없었다고 했잖아요. 좀 스윗하게 물어보자. 물어보고 그 후에 나가도 되니까.
I just want to make you happy.
이게 정말이니?
She can't just want to make us happy.
It makes sense to me. That's all I want for her, so of course she'd want the same for us.
오케이. 잠깐만. 하지만 뭐가 널 행복하게 하는데? 그저 날 행복하게 하는 것 말고도 뭔가 원하는 게 있을 거 아니야. 하지만 네 자신이 원하는 게 있어야지. 근데 북은 왜 이래? 에? 날 불행하게 해주길 원해? 뭘 오바니에야 변태 새끼. 뭘 불행하게 해주길 원해. 뭔 소리 하는 거야 지금. 채팅창에 이렇게 매도당하는 걸 좋아하는 사람들이 많은 거 뭐야? 자, 원하는 게 뭐니?
I'll find something else to want if that makes you happy.
Is she broken?
어?
What's going on? What's going on is she's lying to you, only she isn't a good liar. Are you starting to trust me now?
어? 잠깐만. 얘 점점 삐뚤어진다. 이거 빨리 나가야겠다. 잠깐만. 그래. 자, 이거 옳지 않아. 여기서 나가자.
Sounds perfect.
오케이. 부금 긍정적으로 바뀌었다.
Oh, phew.
오케이.
She's back to normal.
방금 얘 삐뚤어질 뻔했어.
Normal? What are you talking about? Our angel has always been like this. Absolutely flawless. The princess takes your hand, the last hopes of the entire world slipping through your fingers as they intertwine with hers. We have each other. We don't need the world for our happy ending. I like to think that you do, actually.
결혼하는 거야?
Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made and this is happening. You don't have to mope about it. I will mope about it, because moping is the only recourse you love-blind fools have left me with.
근데 분명히 우리 아까 전에 서로 막 칼로 찌르고 싸우고 그랬는데 왜 갑자기 이렇게 해피엔딩을.
You and the princess walk up the stairs hand in hand. Ugh, look at the way she's smiling at you. She doesn't have to be so happy about this.
에? 무슨 낯짝으로?
And what happens after we walk up the stairs? Let's see. Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face and the lock clicks.
평생 지하실에 공주와 단둘이.
That's a familiar move. Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here? That's not fair. We're supposed to leave now.
She's right. It isn't fair.
너가
But
부실
the
수 있잖아.
unfairnesses of the world are no match for the strength of true love. Enough with this true love nonsense. You just met her. Of course you wouldn't understand. Our passions run deeper than anything you have ever known. Are you listening to this? You don't have to go along with the every whim of that delusional voice.
What?
I'm just along for the ride at this point.
우리 결혼 막지 마. 탐색 열 수 있겠어? 이거 하는 순간 갑자기 공주 엘보로 문 부셔버리는 거 아니야? 아니 아까 전에 본 게 있어가지고 이런 거 함부로 선택하면 안 될 것 같은데 진짜 흑화할 것 같은데. 근데 이거 함께 열거나 내가 남자답게 혼자 여는 게 맞는데 뭔가 같이 손잡고 나가는 거니까 함께 여는 게 중요할 것 같아. 그래. 절대
Okay.
공주를 자극하지
Yeah,
말고.
let's do it.
Like a pair of teenagers in love, you and the princess place your hands on the door together. Blech. And the lock clicks
문 열렸다.
and the door creaks open. Are you kidding me? I told you our love was insurmountable. You and the princess make your way
칼이 왜
upstairs
나오지 여기?
and the blade. That's right. There's still a chance for you to do the right thing. Take the blade from the table and slay her before it's...
그러지 않는다.
You're enjoying this, aren't you? You're
우리
taking
결혼할
every
거야.
opportunity you can to draw out the end of the world and make me suffer. I hate you.
이제 와서 내가 호감자가 얼마나 열심히 했는데.
That's the way out. We're going to leave together, just like you wanted.
가자.
Yes, I suppose you are going to do that, aren't you? You cross the room, opening the door to the cabin. And then you step outside.
와.
A happy ending at last.
We did it. What should we do now?
잠깐만. 해피엔딩 맞지?
Where did everything go?
뭐야? 공주야?
Where did he go?
왜
is he
또
gone?
그래?
I hadn't noticed. I was too busy staring deep into our beloved.
사랑스러운 그녀의 눈동자의 건배. 진짜 개그 아니 이거 드립 보소? 아니 근데 지금 이럴 때가 아닌데 이상한데 또?
I'm cold. Is being happy supposed
뭐야?
to be so cold?
왜 이래?
She's cold.
Quick, our feathers. Pluck them all and weave her a coat worthy of a princess.
아니 또 무슨 일이야? 하지만 당신은 외투를 만들어주지 못한다. 영원히 이제 떠날 시간이다. 기억이 되돌아온다.
She's gone. Where did she go?
또 여기로 숨은 거야?
Is that a...
이거 아까 그건데? 그래 이거 아까 왔던 거니까 한번 다시 해보자. 이거 봤는데 아까 전에? 오도왕에 간다. 다시 돌아가요. 아까 봤던 앤데? 근데
When I
비주얼이
found you and
다르다.
along quiet alone, I was terrified. What if you had decided to let me wither? But your commitment now is final. Your ability to walk the path of mutual annihilation is vanished with your return. If you still wish to obliterate me, it will have to wait until I am complete. Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
또요? 아니야. 난 이번에 안... 잠깐만. 이것도 돌아가는 것보다 이번에 다른 선택을 해보는 게 이게 또 돌아가면 또 챕터 1처럼 다시 시작하거든요? 공격을 할 것인지 내 몸을 파괴할 것인지 영원히 기다린다고? 영원히 기다린다는 선택지가 있었어? 이거 해볼까?
Then we will remain here as we are now, barely finished, damp.
와 평생 여기 갇힌 채로? 기다린다.
If you need time, then I'll wait with you.
영원히 기다린다.
You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone. I am not you, but I know that I would return before forever was finished.
집합체랑 결혼하자고요? 이거 여자 맞아?
What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I? If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage.
저기요 손이 예쁘다 이러는데 뭐 손 보고 결혼할 거예요? 뭔 손이 예쁘다 이러고 있어. 뭔 소리야 지금.
You'll always come back to the box because you'll always want to know what it means to be you.
님들 게임 꺼졌어. 기다린다고 하고 게임 그냥 꺼버렸어. 아니 이거 강제 종료 시켰는데?
You have returned to me, though you were gone mere moments. I never left your
바뀌었어
side.
게임. 돌아왔군요. 짧은 시간 동안이었지만 전 당신 곁을 떠나지 않았어. 일부러 종료시켰구나. 뭐야.
화면에 강동원 나와서 깜놀.
와. 잠깐만 난 널 해치고 싶지 않아. 하지만 여정을 계속할수록 자꾸만 널 해치게 돼.
The vessels are a weave of emotion at odds with themselves, but they are only perspectives. They are not me.
지금 게임 속에서는 영혼의 시간이 지나갔나 봐.
The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before. I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side, for I would not know your absence.
여기 다른 선택지는 아까도 잠깐만 이건 처음 보는 건데? 넌 내가 만났던 자들 중 나를 가장 친절하게 대해줬어. 고마워. 이것도 외지도 있는데 이건 호감작 잘했으니까 그랬겠지 뭐.
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me.
뭐야 이거 아까 들었던 대답인데 결국에 이것도? 집합체를 공격한다. 스스로의 몸을 파괴한다. 어떡하지? 그래, 이번에는 순해 보였으니까 죽이지 말고 나를 죽이자. 이게 맞아. 수많은 손들 중 하나가 당신에게 뻗어와 부드럽게 당신의 여벌구를 어루만진다.
There's nowhere for you to be, but
이래도 안 죽는데? 그럼 얘를 죽여봐야겠네. 당신의 의지가 집합체를 공격하려 하지만 아무 일도 일어나지 않는다. 뭐야?
my roots burrow in an ocean beyond your sight. We cannot harm each other as we are now.
이거 결국엔 그냥 초기화를 하는 게 맞는 건가 본데?
I await
돌아가야
your
하나 봐.
return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
헐. 돌아왔네요. 자, 그러면 여기서부터는 불러오기를 한번 해보자. 아까 전에 얘 흑화하려고 했던 곳 있잖아. 여기였나? 흑화하는 곳이? 아, 여기 아닌데? 여기였나? 그래, 한번 흑화하는 거 해보자. 난 네가 원하는 거 알려주길 원해.
I just want to make you happy.
It
그래,
makes
여기서
sense.
또 넘기고. 자, 뭔가 원하는 게
Okay,
있을 거야.
I'll find
자,
something else to want if that.
Is she
여기서부터 얘가
broken?
흑화했어.
What's going on?
잠깐만. 자, 하지만 네 자신이 원하는 게 있어야지. 방금 만난 나한테 모든 행복을 맡기면 안 돼.
Okay, if that's what makes you happy.
뭐야? 점점 애가 납작해지고 있어. 더 뭔가 더 납작해지는 것 같아.
This isn't right. I don't know what's going on, but this isn't right. I fail to see the problem here. She's just sweet on us. You don't have to act like it's a big deal.
잠깐만. 하지만 뭐가 널 행복하게 하는데?
I just want to make you happy.
Is it just me?
흑화하지 마라.
Does it
그러지
feel like we're
마라.
alone right now? Like we're the only
결국엔 또 이렇게 사라지는구나. 오케이. 다시 가봅시다. 이번에 또 다른 공주를 만나겠죠? 결국에 난 당신은 성장했다. 또 성장한 거야? 진짜 성괴네. 성장하는 괴물. 다시 공주한테 가봅시다.
When I found you in the long
납작해졌어.
quiet alone, I was terrified. What if you had decided to let me wither? But your commitment now is final. Your ability to walk the path of mutual annihilation is vanished with your return. If you still wither when I...
결국 여긴 똑같은 말이네요. 또 돌아가야 되는구나. 그래.
We will meet again.
아, 오케이. 일단은 이 정도면 엔딩 여러 개 본 것 같네요. 또 죽었네요, 저는. 아니, 이게 좀 엔딩이 여러 개가 있는데 아무튼 그렇다고 하면은 제가 다 본 건지는 모르겠는데 아무튼 보니까 게임이 약간 호러물도 있고 로맨스물도 있고 스릴러도 있고 그냥 다 있는데 어찌됐든 근데 공주는 죽는구나. 내가 죽이던 얘가 스스로 죽던. 아, 재밌었습니다. 일단 녹화는 여기까지 끝. 해피엔딩. 아까 제가 한 거 해피엔딩 아니에요? 나름 해피엔딩인데요. 잠깐 해피했잖아. 일단 녹화는 여기서 끊도록 하겠습니다.